I'm Christine Lisi. A 24th woman has filed a civil lawsuit against Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson, alleging inappropriate sexual conduct. Watson has denied all wrongdoing. Avalanche go for the sweep of the Oilers in Game 4 of the NHL's West Final tonight. A win would put Colorado in the Stanley Cup Final for the first time in 21 years. Forward Draymond Green believes he and the Warriors are heading to Boston for Game 3 of the NBA Finals in a great mental space and with the confidence they know what it takes to win on the road. Green said he sent Golden State a message, gave the team an attitude adjustment before the Game 2 series-tying win. He is the Warriors' most important player, believes former NBA player Antonio Daniels.
They go as Draymond Green goes. When Draymond Green is active and he's aggressive on both sides of the floor, he sets the physical tone for this Golden State Warriors basketball team, completely different basketball team.
Antonio Daniels on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Game 3 Wednesday, 8 Eastern, ESPN Radio, 9 Eastern, ABC. At his end-of-season press conference today, 77-year-old Heat President Pat Riley made it clear he has no plans to retire anytime soon.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
See if we remember how to do this. And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Not going to lie to you. By the way, great to be back. Had a really good week away. Thanks to everybody who filled in. It really sucks that LSU's about to play what could be the last game of its 2022 baseball season. And they're about to start. It's a 3 o'clock first pitch, Central Time here as we're about to start the show, so we are head up on LSU baseball. So in the past when this has happened, we've kind of handled it a couple of ways. We've either gone like companion show where we just talk about the game as it's unfolding, and that's an option, or you just do the complete opposite, which is assume that everybody who wants to watch the game is going to be watching the game, and so we'll talk about anything but the game. And we're going to kind of mishmash a little bit here. So, because there's a lot that we do have to get to, and I'm looking forward to it. Colby Richardson, cornerback from McNeese, who committed to LSU over the weekend. He'll be with us in 15 minutes from right now. Delly was at the SEC spring meetings in Destin, actually just minutes from where I was, although we did not intersect. He'll be with us next hour. Mike Triplett as well, talk some Saints. We've got a lot of stuff to get to, and we'll keep you posted on the game as it transpires as well. I will, before we get to first pitch here, kind of run through the weekend. It's incredible. It's why I love baseball. LSU looked like they were dead in the water against Kennesaw State, and an improbable 10-run eighth inning to win that game and put themselves in the winner's bracket. Again, on Saturday, looks like LSU is going to fall to the host Southern Miss. Despite another eighth inning rally, Southern Miss is able to stamp it out. Then LSU comes up with the 4 runs in the 9th, and they're able to walk it off in the 10th. It was great theater, and that's why I love baseball. You've got to get all 27 outs, and on a given day, you never know what may transpire. You can't take a knee. You can't hold the ball. You can't run out the clock. You have got to go get 27 outs. And for us, Kennesaw State and Southern Miss, they weren't able to do it the first 2 days against LSU, which put LSU in the driver's seat of this regional. And I had an opportunity yesterday to finish it. Really nice start, of course, with K. Doty hitting the 2-run homer in the first. But But LSU, each of the 3 games in this Hattiesburg Regional so far, they've had bases loaded opportunities early in the game and failed to blow it open. And that ultimately was their detriment. And some kid nobody's ever heard of from Southern Miss took the mound, big 6'8" lefty with a weird slot, and basically baffled LSU for 5 1/3. And Southern Miss wins 8-4 in large part because LSU kicked the ball around and balked in a run, and a lot of ball to get to a backstop to let in a run, which has been a disease on this team all year. But you are where you are, and now it's a 1-game season. It's LSU, Southern Miss today. The winner will advance to the Super Regional round. The loser season is over. And we know by virtue of Miami losing their Coral Gables Regional that if LSU wins this baseball game today, LSU will be playing Super Regional baseball at the box next week. If Ole Miss advances, LSU is the higher seed they'd host. If Arizona advances, LSU and Arizona each 2 seeds. It would go to a bid to the NCAA committee, and of course, Baton Rouge is going to earn a Super Regional bid over Tucson, Arizona. I mean, that's not even worth having the conversation. So we would see great theater either way, however it may transpire. But the issue at hand is LSU and Southern Miss today, and they're about to get underway there in Hattiesburg. Mikhail Hilliard is going to start for LSU. This is an absolute no-brainer. Hilliard threw just 55 pitches on Friday. Did not have his best stuff. He's a 5th-year guy. I would expect Fontenot is going to be the first guy out of the bullpen for LSU, a 5th-year guy. You better believe you're going to see Trent Vittmeyer today, a 5th-year guy. It's all hands on deck. These dudes have been here for 5 years. Go shove and throw, blow out. Like it's going to be the last time you may ever play competitive baseball, which for these guys, it may be. I mean, they may have a shot at the next level. Fontenot probably premium among them, but this is a great opportunity for these guys. The starting lineup, and they're just about to get underway here with Hilliard on the bump, is LSU on the coin toss, and they are the home team in this game, which we've talked about this forever. It's completely asinine, the fact that the team hosting a regional is not the home team in a win-or-go-home scenario, but this benefits LSU now for the second time against Southern Miss, as LSU will be the home team in this ball game today. Mikhail Hilliard's first pitch is, in fact, a strike. This is how LSU is going to line it up. Pearson, Cruz, Berry, Doty, Morgan, Thompson, McManus, Joubert, and Drew Bianco getting the start in left field. I do like, this will surprise some of you, but I do like starting Drew Bianco today. We've talked about it a good bit. That's a leadoff homer for Southern Miss. So Southern Miss, leadoff homer off Mikhail Hilliard. They have a quick 1-0 lead. It's going to take some scoring today for LSU, goes without saying, but that is not a great way to start. I do like starting Drew Bianco today. He has not been a great offensive player throughout his career. He strikes out about 1/3 of his career ABs. But Josh Stevenson, the moment was a little too big for him last night, and he misplayed some balls in the outfield. And I think with Drew Bianco in left today, you add essentially another coach on the field, a veteran guy who was big in LSU's Eugene Regional a year ago. He kind of has the reputation on this team of being that really good clubhouse guy. He's the energy guy in the clubhouse. So I do like Bianco being in there today. He had a really heads-up play on Saturday on the ball in the dirt, getting a second, which ultimately allowed that tying run to come home. So there might be a winning play mixed in somewhere there, which I know sounds foolish after Mikhail Hilliard gives up the leadoff homer. The flip side of this, of course, is that LSU is going to face Tanner Hall from Southern Miss. There's a liner to left, and Bianco does make the play. So they're hitting Mikhail Hilliard hard, but so far 1 run and 1 out for Southern Miss. But the flip side of this is Tanner Hall, who is starting for Southern Miss today. He threw 109 pitches in their regional opener on Friday against Army. He was magnificent. He is their ace, and he's from Zachary, Louisiana. I know there's a lot of people who look and say, how can you bring back a guy after he threw 106 pitches just 2 days later? Our buddy Hunt Palmer pointed this out, and I'll give credit where it's due. He did the research, and he's right. Landon Marceau did this a year ago. Landon Marceau and Eugene threw 101 pitches on Friday, came back on Monday and threw 46. Back in 2016, Jared Poche threw 92 on Friday, then 69 pitches on that Monday. I think he ended up getting like 16 in a row out against Rice, or so. It was dominant against Rice. And I'll remind you that in 2014, in that home regional against Houston, which obviously did not go LSU's way, Houston did the same thing. Forgive me, I can't remember the kid's name that Houston brought back and ended up going 5 innings on Monday and threw 200 pitches on the weekend. But it's not uncommon. You see this in regional play every single year. So Tanner Hall, I don't think, is going out there to give Scott Berry and Southern Miss an inning. I think he's going out there to pitch this ballgame. And hopefully LSU sees him and tees him up and knocks him around the yard a little bit and gets him out early. It's a pitching advantage for Southern Miss in this ballgame. That I don't even think that's debatable. They've proven why they have the second best staff ERA in the country over the course of this weekend, and certainly last night. So the chore today is for LSU's offense to get going. These bats have got to get swinging and got to get hot. You're already in a hole 1-0, but you're going to face Tanner Hall on short rest. Chase him out of the game early, put some doubt into that Southern Miss team, and see if you can go get a win and advance your season at least another weekend where you'd be playing at home at the box against either Ole Miss or Arizona. But issue at hand is you got to beat Southern Miss today on their field, and they already have a 1-0 lead here. Top one with just one out. Hilliard does have a 1-2 count to the 3-hole hitter, and that's a called strike 3. So Mikhail Hilliard maybe settling in after giving up that leadoff homer, but we'll see if we can get through it. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. 288-8138, 288-8138, or ReliefWindows.com. We will keep you posted on the baseball game throughout the afternoon. Of course, you can listen to it on our sister station, Eagle 98.1. If you want to watch the baseball game and listen to us, that would be great as well. When we come back, we're going to switch gears a bit. We'll talk to Colby Richardson. Colby Richardson is a grad transfer from McNeese, New Orleans kid. Has spent the last 5 years or 4 years, 5 years at McNeese, as a matter of fact, and was a signee in the class of 2017, and now he's going to play his final year of football in Baton Rouge for the Tigers. We'll talk to Colby Richardson when we come back next. Glad to have you aboard with us here on AFR.
AFR.
Rouse's, the official supermarket of LSU Athletics and the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Get to Rouse's.com to learn more. That's Rouse's.com. Rouse's is such a great spot if you're going to the game or having a game watch at your home, or you just need all of your groceries. Rouse's has got you covered. Remember, they do offer delivery and pickup services, so you can, just like any app, right? You can go to the Rouse's app. You can pick out all of your groceries there, select all your items. They will go pick them up for you. When you pull up, boom, they'll deliver them out to your car. They also have delivery options. If you can't physically get to Rouse's, they'll bring them to your home. Rouse's.com to learn more or download the Rouse's app. Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints and the official supermarket of the LSU Tigers. Great grab-and-go meal options if you're looking for dinner plans for your family tonight. Great wine and liquor and craft beer selection. They got it all for you at Rouse's, the official supermarket of LSU Athletics. Rouse's, this feels like home.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pop?
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Call 288-8138 or visit reliefwindows.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Brian Kelly's been pretty adamant at why he wanted to add Louisiana transfers in this his first class at LSU, and he's added another over the weekend. Colby Richardson, a cornerback who was a member of the class of 2017 at McNeese, entered the transfer portal as a graduate, initially committed to Colorado State, but he's in Baton Rouge. He'll be on campus and reporting tomorrow, and right now he's with us on AFR. Colby, appreciate a couple of minutes, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be a Tiger, man.
Man, I know there's a lot of Tiger fans that are glad to hear that as well. Let me just start with, so late in the process, how did this come about, man? How did the contact first start with you and LSU?
It was actually after Memorial Day, actually. Well, I actually had a spring visit in the spring. That was during the time they was doing their spring ball and whatnot. I went up there for unofficial, had a great talk with Coach T and Coach House. They told me they would get me back up there and they was going to keep in contact, which they kept their word. So I just went on and kept going on my recruiting process. End up committing to Colorado State, thinking that was it because I was still waiting on it. Also, I talked to other coaches, but this past Monday, Coach Frank called me and told me, "Are you interested of flipping your commitment?" And I was like, I'd love to, but let me pray on it first and make the best decision as possible for us to make that decision. But as soon as Coach Frank called me, he told me, just pray on it and give me a call tomorrow, and we could just start finalizing this thing with recruiting and everything. So that's how everything came about. Coach Frank reached out. He helped me get into, I would say, the program with the help of my film, actually, to help me get in the program. And, I was just excited to even get the call. And when I got the call, I already knew what it was when I seen Coach Frank's number.
So he called you on Monday, on Memorial Day, a week ago today.
Yeah.
And so that transpired really quickly. How long did it take you to make the decision to pull the trigger on LSU?
It took me about a day and a half. I mean, I was already praying before that because I had some miscommunication with Colorado State, and that kind of started the praying process of, if this is the right decision for me, well, let it happen. So by me praying, Frank called, and I was like, let me pray again. And the next day, actually, it was just finalized because I felt so excited, and the recruiting process from Coach Thies and talking to Coach House, it was the same for when I've been up there. So that just what excited me throughout the process. And I was like, that this is a dream. I'm not going to overlook this dream. I'm just going to take this opportunity and go ahead and just compete and become a part of DBU.
Love it.
So that's what made the decision flip.
Colby Richardson is our guest, newest LSU Tiger, and now member of the class of 2022, who plays final year of college football in Baton Rouge. New Orleans guy, you went to McMain. You mentioned Coach Frank a couple of times. So you were there with him at McNeese for his 2 seasons there, obviously. But did you have a relationship with him when you were in high school as well?
Throughout high school, I would say, yeah. But Coach Frank was actually I think, the recruiting coordinator here at LSU.
Mm-hmm.
So during that time, I was actually being recruited by Coach Lou, who was the running backs coach during the time with Les Miles and everything. I was actually being recruited for receiver there at LSU. But I ended up going to the camp my senior year as a cornerback, and LSU just went opposite ways throughout that time. But me and Coach Frank actually get a great relationship when it came to McNeese.
Colby Richardson is our guest. You've actually played in Tiger Stadium. Of course, McNeese came and played in Baton Rouge, and you got to take the field. What was it like playing in Tiger Stadium as a visitor?
Oh, man, it was very exciting, man. The atmosphere was just incredible. As soon as I stepped out on the field, I said this was home. And I was still at McNeese, and I don't know why I felt that way, but it's just the fans, the atmosphere of everything, and just the environment itself. Once you step in that 100,000-plus stadium, it's like, all eyes on you. And, everybody looking down onto that field that have 100 yards. So, it was just a great experience. It was just a wonderful thing for my family to actually see me play in Death Valley, and to actually be a part of this Tiger family is even more incredible.
It's very cool. You're going to get to play a lot more in Tiger Stadium this year. Did you meet Brian Kelly?
Nah, not yet. I actually was supposed to go up there this tonight, and then tomorrow I will actually have a chance to meet with him. When I went up there for the springtime, he was actually busy. They actually had the junior day, so he was busy with a lot of things. So we actually going to talk when I get up there more.
Does it give you any hesitancy at all, having not talked to the head coach before you made the commitment? And ultimately, I mean, you said you'll be there. You'll report tomorrow. Is there any hesitancy, or was it just comfort with the defensive coordinator and the secondary staff?
Yeah, it was just more comfortable with them, having Coach Frank and then having the whole defensive staff recruit me on their own was more than anything. I just felt that my time with Coach BK will come, and I know the fact that, it will be a genuine connection regardless because of his coaching staff. His coaching staff represents him very well, and he actually recruit very well. So it's to the point that once I got that connection with them, I knew his time being at SEC conference, I think, like a couple weeks or this past week, I was supposed to talk to him, but, he was just busy. Right. So I knew the course of him being busy, I was just going to meet him one day.
Let's talk some ball.
Yes, sir.
You're 6'1". What's your best spot? Outside, inside? Where are you most comfortable?
I would say outside I'm most comfortable, but I would say I'm a versatile player. I played mostly every position on the field throughout my high school, throughout my life in football. So I just feel as my athleticism can put me anywhere on the field. And I just love the game of football so much to the point that no matter what's my job, no matter what's my assignment, I'm going to go out there and do it at 100% with championship effort.
LSU had a lot of turnover in their secondary last year, but Brian Kelly and his staff also went and signed a lot of cornerbacks in the transfer portal. Did that weigh into your decision at all, wondering if you would actually have the opportunity to get on the field?
It's just a natural competitiveness in me. I'm actually not worrying about who all there. I mean, I just feel as we all can learn from each other. I feel as the guys there are going to make a highly impact, and I just think that adding me to that secondary to make that secondary that everyone remember of LSU, which is DBU. So when, I got the call, I would say that was a thought process, but I guess by me being so competitive in life and everything I do, I feel so much comfortable in my game to go out there to compete with the best.
Are you friends with any of the guys on the LSU team? Like, do you know any of the guys prior?
Actually, one guy I actually know, we actually grew up together, Joe Fauché.
I was going to ask, man. The guy went to Arkansas and obviously transferred in, yeah.
Yeah, my two oldest brothers on my mom's side, that's their little brother on their dad's side. So it's kind of a family thing tied in. They try to get us to play for a long time throughout Park Ball, throughout New Orleans. And then he wound up going to Arkansas, and I wound up going to McNeese. So that kind of switched everything. But when he made that move to LSU, and then when LSU started to reach out to me, it started to, everybody just started to try to, pray on it and try to make it come true, because that's something everybody wants to see.
Hey, man, that's gonna be easy. That's gonna be easy for your family watching both you guys in the same place this year.
Oh yeah.
Hey, man, before you go, one more on field. Special teams. You open to doing that? Have you done that in your career?
Man, I did everything in my career, and I'm willing to do anything to help this football team get back to that 2019 year, and that's to win the championship. So if I got to go out there and play special teams, if I got to go out there and be the second guy or be the first guy, I mean, just being on that field and competing as a Tiger is always a dream. So playing special teams, playing anything, just playing football, period. I don't care where I'm at. Just put me on the field and just let me go to work. So that's how I'm feeling.
A lot of LSU fans going to love to hear that, man. He is Colby Richardson, the newest member of the LSU 2020 class. 1 year to play. He'll play it as a grad transfer, immediately eligible at LSU for 2022. Hey, man, we'll keep in touch. Congrats on your decision. All the best, man. Good luck, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
That's our pleasure. Colby Richardson. Man, I really enjoy talking to him. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that as well. I got some thoughts on LSU adding Colby Richardson, which we'll get to. I'm also really excited to see what's happened for LSU here in the bottom of the first inning. They've gotten to Tanner Hall. Josh Pearson led off with a single. Dylan Cruz popped out. Jacob Berry singled up the middle. Kay Doty, an infield single. The bases were loaded. And Muse, calm down there, bro. And then Trey Morgan came up with a 2 RBI single. 2-1 LSU, first and third with one out for Jordan Thompson, who lays down the bunt, and that's going to get another run home, and Thompson's going to be safe at first. So Muse's stream is a little ahead of mine. LSU now leads 3-1. First and second, one out. Got a little something pumping here. So, look, they were going to need this, right? LSU was going to have to get the bats going today to win this game. Southern Miss has a better pitching staff than LSU. It looks like Tanner Hall, their ace, who's on 2 days rest, doesn't look like he's going to make it out of the first inning. Knock on wood, we'll see. Muse, Grimace, was it a double play, Muse?
No.
Okay,
no.
All right. So we'll keep our eye on the baseball game. I understand a lot of you are watching it, but we'll jump back and forth. I do have some thoughts on Colby Richardson. Not only, the conversation with him, but just adding another cornerback into this class, which we will get to. We'll also go around the SEC. Dellenger in about 30 minutes from right now. Glad you're with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. Hey, of course I've been telling you about the Baton Rouge General Express Care locations, but also want to remind you that the Baton Rouge General Healthy Men Project that we've been telling you about, they have the Baton Rouge General Healthy Men Project coming to the Ascension Neighborhood Hospital. So if you missed the one earlier this year at Bluebonnet Mid-City, the Ascension Neighborhood Hospital Healthy Men Project kickoff event is coming up. You can get more at the website at brgeneral.org. But remember, Baton Rouge General Express Care locations, brgeneral.org, for everyday bumps and bruises and scrapes and sprains and strains. And if you got cold symptoms, animal bites, whatever it may be. If you don't need to go to the ER, you don't want to wait on the doctor, the Baton Rouge General Express Care locations could be for you. It's urgent care, walk-in 7 days a week. Learn more at brgeneral.org.
Come on over to Corval Toyota to pre-order your next vehicle. It's an easy and stress-free process. Browse, reserve, pick up, and enjoy. It's that simple. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but two NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, front-to-back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front to Back Boat Service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Call 288-8138 or visit reliefwindows.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, so LSU, after Tyler McManus pops out, then Trey Morgan gets picked off by the pitcher at second base. So the Tigers do pull ahead in the bottom of the first. It's 3-1 LSU. Southern Miss batting top two, but Mikhail Hilliard does give up a leadoff single. So both aces on short rest, having a tough go of it early. Tanner Hall got roughed up there in the first, and Mikhail Hilliard did give up the leadoff homer and another hit in the top of the first inning. Now that's 3 hits off of Mikhail Hilliard, but the LSU does lead it 3-1. The SEC spring meetings were last week in Destin, of course. Ross Dellenger will be with us in 26 minutes, and we'll kind of get a recap. The most notable thing they discussed was scheduling, and I want some sense of where football scheduling is going to go. They did not make a decision in Destin, but we'll talk about that, some of the other highlights from Destin with Delhi coming up. The Big 12 is having its spring meetings. Their spring meetings ended last week as well. And I only bring this up because of the Texas-Oklahoma angle. because, of course, this is going to become very relevant for LSU and the SEC, with Texas and OU leaving the Big 12 and coming into the SEC. The Big 12 this year distributed a record $426 million. That's a Big 12 record, let me be clear, not of all conferences, just of the Big 12. For 13 consecutive years, they had increased their revenue distribution, which you would expect. And then they had a dip in the COVID year. They went from $388 million, dipped to $345, and then bumped this year up to $426. So if there were no COVID and you had just continued with those progressive increases, you probably would have been at this number anyway. So you can look at that and say, well, they had a 25% increase year to year. And yes, that's true. But it's also part of the reason there was room for that much of a jump was because COVID caused everybody's revenues to dip. The bigger question for the Big 12 is, and it is rating, all the revenue is expected to increase as well over the next 2 years. But remember, at the end of the next 2 years, July 1st, 2025 is when Oklahoma and Texas are expected to leave the Big 12 for the SEC, but it could happen sooner. And at that point, that's when, in 2 years from now, that's when the Big 12's current media rights deals with ESPN and Fox expire, and that's when they will add BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, and Central Florida. So the big question for the Big 12, and this is relevant for a pretty obvious reason. I mean, whoever has the most money wins. I mean, that's what this is. It's an arms race. And the SEC and the Big Ten have the most money. It's why they pay the coaches the most. It's why they have the best facilities. It's why all of these things that we talk about routinely matter so much. It's why I'm talking about revenue now, and much of that is predicated on TV deals. What will the Big 12's TV deal look like without Texas and Oklahoma? They will tell you, hey, we're going to be now in 8 states and 3 different time zones, and all that's true. You add BYU, you're getting Utah, even though it's Provo. You'll add a state you're not in, Salt Lake City. You're adding UCF, the largest undergrad enrollment in the country, and you're adding Orlando, Houston, the 3rd largest media market in the country. But the reality is nobody in Houston cares about the University of Houston. It's like Tulane in New Orleans. It's no disrespect, but it's Saints LSU. Tulane's like the other one down there that some people who are close to that university actually care about. I don't believe that ESPN, Fox, they're going to be willing to pay a multiple or any type of increase on a Big 12 TV contract that omits Texas and Oklahoma. You can't take away your 2 most valuable properties and add BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, and Central Florida and tell me that the sum of the parts is greater than the whole. It's just not. I mean, those 4 do not add the equivalent value of the 2 you're losing. So I would still expect fully that the Big 12, when Texas and OU leave, will have a massive regression financially, because I can't see the Big 12 signing a contract, a TV contract, or garnering a TV contract equivalent to the one they presently have when you add those schools. Time will tell, and it'll take a couple of years before we know, but something worth keeping in mind here. All right, it's after further review. LSU did turn 2. So with nobody on and 2 out, there was a bouncer right to the second base side of the bag, and Cade Doty made a beautiful play to glove it and throw it to Morgan, who dug it out. Initially ruled him safe. They are reviewing it, and it's going to be close, but Southern Miss may have a base runner here. Was ruled safe on the field. We'll see what the review calls for. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Blue Bonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. Theantiagingclinics.com. All this month, I tell you all the time about hormone replacement therapy. If you wake up and you feel sluggish, you don't feel rested after a night's sleep, if you don't sleep well at night, if you don't have energy throughout the day, if maybe you don't have the motivation to get into the gym, if you get in the gym and you just don't build muscle or burn fat, all of that could be a symptom of hormone deficiency. As we age, we all produce less of the hormones that contribute to how we feel. and this happens differently in every human, no matter what the number of your age is. A simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate. And all this month, those initial labs are just $149. $149 for those initial blood labs and 10% off all your first purchase of your supplements at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Blue Bond in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey and Lafayette, online, theantiagingclinics.com. All right, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions.
All right, what a day in college baseball as 9 of the regionals are playing baseball on Monday. 9 of the 16 are playing today. Of those 9, 6 involve SEC schools. To date, the only SEC school that's been eliminated from postseason play is Georgia. So let's get a run through here of what's transpired so far. Auburn, UCLA had to come back and beat Auburn twice. Auburn beats UCLA today 11-4. That game just went final. So Auburn does, in fact, advance to super regional action. Florida and Oklahoma, they are delayed top 7 in Gainesville, but Florida currently leading Oklahoma 2-1. Florida, of course, is the home team in that Gainesville regional. Told you about LSU Southern Miss. By the way, Mikhail Hilliard does get a strikeout to end the second inning, so LSU... Hilliard gives up a couple of more hits there, but still LSU going bottom 2, leading Southern Miss 3-1. Vanderbilt and Oregon State, that one is on the SEC network right now. They're bottom 2 with Oregon State batting and leading Vanderbilt right now 1-0. This is the elimination game. The winner of this game does advance to the College World Series. Ole Miss in Arizona, that's down in Coral Gables. They are delayed in the top of the first right now. The winner of that regional, of course, is paired with the Hattiesburg Regional, which means if LSU beats Southern Miss, they would play the winner of Ole Miss Arizona. It is worth noting Arizona has to beat Ole Miss twice. They would have to beat them twice today to advance. And then Arkansas and Oklahoma State are tonight at 6 o'clock Central Time. That game is on ESPN2. So 6 SEC teams still alive for super regional berths. Auburn has already punched their ticket. So Auburn is one of those 6. Let me rephrase that. Auburn has punched their ticket to the super regional. 5 more are still alive for super regional berths. We will certainly keep you posted. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products, online at gcopnet.com. gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Face-to-face sales, service after the sale. That's what you get at Gulf Coast Office Products, a national leader among Savin dealers, and they will proudly service, though, all makes and models. You need your business to run more efficient with better office equipment. Gulf Coast Office Products. gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. All right, it is After Further Review. Glad to be back. Enjoyed the week away. We did the beach thing for a week and had a great time. But really good to be back, and I always love being here on Mondays. Mondays are great when you have everything from the weekend to talk about, and then when you've been gone for a week, everything that you missed. So I wish I was not head up on the LSU baseball game right now, but that is the reality. Braden Jobert grounds out to start the bottom of the second for LSU, so nobody on and 1 out. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get you updated on LSU bottom 2 and kind of how this regional has gone for the Tigers. Ross Dellenger will join us in 17 minutes from right now. He was in Destin working last week while I was in Destin drinking a lot of tequila on the beach and not working a lick. But we'll ask Ross what we missed in Destin with the spring meetings in about 17 minutes from right now. Glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
All right, back from vacation and now no excuse. Really got to bear down. Insurance Network of Louisiana. Y'all, storm season's here. It is June 1 was officially the start of hurricane season. And too many of us are overpaying and underinsured. Do you know what your named storm deductible is? Do you know what your hurricane deductible is? Man, take a look at it. Do you have flood insurance? So many people learned this the hard way last year with Ida. Don't fall into that same trap. Call our friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana. Let them shop to get you better coverage for less money. What if you could reduce your percentage deductible to a flat deductible? It's possible. Let Insurance Network of Louisiana shop independently for free to find you better coverage for less money. 293-0450, 293-0450. Again, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net. It's Insurance Network of Louisiana. Call them right now. Better coverage for less money. 293-0450.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $5,000 off the new 2022 Wagoneer. We have Wagoneers in stock with $5,000 off. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Call 288-8138 or visit reliefwindows.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
So the new chairs didn't come in while I was out, I see.
No. We still got the got Old Faithful down. Oh, yeah,
Jesus.
Man. Hey, at least it lasted 3 segments of you being back before you just dropped it down low there.
Did anybody, while they were filling in, have issues?
No, actually, I don't think anybody did.
That's crazy.
Not that I remember. Of course, I mean, like Renato was here, and he's like 7 feet tall, so you can't really tell. I mean, Brian Holland's not a short guy either, so you can't really tell.
Yeah. Okay. Well, did they all use this?
Yeah, they all used that one. Yeah.
I noticed Bo Wegman, our engineer, who was supposed to be ordering the chairs that I picked out.
Yeah, right.
He's not here today.
No, Bo's not here.
Is he out all week? Do we know?
I don't know. I was looking for him earlier today. I couldn't find him. I hope he's not out all week.
Well, I'll see if I can get an update on the chairs. Update on the baseball game. LSU's up 3-1. They're top 3 now. So LSU went 1-2-3 there in the second. A pop out, a strikeout, and a ground out. Bianco struck out on 3 pitches. I tweeted this a bit ago. This will surprise some of you, I think. But I actually like starting Drew Bianco today, and I understand what he is. He's a career sub-200 hitter. He strikes out a third of his career at bats. When you're at this point in your career, that's what you are. But as I say that, Drew Bianco is raging to left center, makes a beautiful running catch. And I really like having him in the lineup today. Anything they get offensively from him out of the 9-hole, I think is lagniappe. But I don't think over a 56-game season you can stand to have that automatic out in your lineup. But on a day like today, I like coaches playing hunches and trying to get experience and leadership in the lineup. You know, Josh Stevenson is going to be a very good player at LSU. I think he already is a very good player at LSU. He's a plus defender in left. And while his batting average is only .206, which is not good, and he's really, as a left-handed hitter, has really struggled against left-handed pitching, he finds a way on base. Josh Stevenson, for his freshman season, he has walked 1 out of every 4 ABs, or plate appearances. That's stunning. Despite the fact that he hits only .206, his on-base percentage is .381. For comparison, K. Doty, who's a very good player, his on-base percentage is .386. Stevenson's 5 points off of Doty as far as his on-base percentage. But the moment was too big for Stevenson yesterday. It's not a knock. He's a young guy playing in a big spot, and starting from literally the first at-bat of the ball game was a fly ball to left, and he misjudged it. He made the play, but it was uneasy. And there were 2 plays where he misread the ball off the bat. He had a rough day. It happens. Sometimes guys don't have a good day. There's times I do bad shows. Some of you might think that that's all the time, but whatever you do, you have bad days at work. It's okay. And he's going to be a great player here. I believe that. But in this game, where this is your season, if you lose, your season ends and careers end. I like having guys with urgency. I like having guys with experience. A year ago, Drew Bianco was really good in that Eugene Regional. So, maybe this is, this is Jay Johnson tapping into some of that experience, some of that veteran presence, a guy who's done it on the road in regionals on a championship Monday before. I like the thought process there. And already you've seen Drew Bianco make 2 really good plays in the outfield, running catches in the outfield. And if he gives you anything offensively, great. But, there's going to be those opportunities to make a winning play. And maybe he's already made a couple with the catches in the outfield. But, on Saturday night, that ball in the dirt was a really good read and took second. That ultimately ended up being the tie-in run. So, I do like having him in the lineup today. Mikhail Hilliard gets out of the third here with a strikeout. He seems to have found a little bit of a rhythm, which is fantastic to see. A couple of fly ball outs and a strikeout. So Mikhail's now gotten you 9 outs. And when he was struggling in the first, they had Paul Gervais up. I don't know that Paul Gervais would be my option for the first guy out of the bullpen. But then again, I also understand you need to be in a situation where you get to the closer to be able to use the closer. So you use your best arms. Now that LSU has a lead, as opposed to in that first inning when Mikhail gave up the leadoff homer, then gave up a single, and they were down 1-0 and had a runner on base. I wonder how Jay Johnson's approach may change. But I'll say this again. For guys like Mikhail Hilliard, Devin Fontenot, Trent Vittmeyer, dudes that are fifth-year players who this might be the last time they ever really play in a meaningful baseball game. I not to suggest that I think Mikhail or Fontenot may have an opportunity. Vittmeyer may have an opportunity to go pitch professionally somewhere and try to work their way through a farm system. I don't know that of the 3, I think Fontenot has the best stuff, the best chances of advancing through a minor league system. If that happens, we'll see. But let those guys go and throw like it's the last competitive game they'll ever throw. And let them see if they can get you to next weekend. And it'd be a weekend at the box, which would be so much fun. So Tigers right now, as they head to the bottom of the third, lead Southern Miss 3-1 in a one-game season. And Mikhail Hilliard seems to have found his groove a little bit. So see how deep Mikhail can get you into the game. But I do expect to see those veteran arms and the way that it stacks up for LSU. Not only do you have the veterans I mentioned, but you can bring back, obviously, Paul Gervais. Jacob Hasty is a lefty that would be available to you today. I can't imagine that they'd go to Riley Cooper again, but Raiselman threw 22 pitches yesterday. He could obviously give you something today. LSU has plenty of arms to get you 27 outs today can the bats keep putting pressure on Southern Miss? Tanner Hall's back out for the third inning. After giving up the 3 spot in the first and having a relatively easy second, he faces Dylan Cruz here to start the third, and he's quickly ahead 0-2 on Cruz, who fouled out in his first at-bat back in the first inning. So we'll keep you posted there. All right, it's After Further Review. Monday show is brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. 288-8138, 288-8138, or ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, Relief Windows, and ReliefWindows.com. All right, I was in Destin last week, as were all of the dignitaries of the Southeastern Conference for spring meetings. I was not one of those dignitaries, nor was I involved with any of them. But Ross Dellenger was there for Sports Illustrated covering SEC spring meetings. So what came of it? We'll recap SEC spring meetings with Dellenger when we come back after SportsCenter and Mike Triplett in 35 minutes from right now to talk some Saints OTAs, as they're about a week away from the start of mandatory minicamp. Hour number 2 of a Monday AFR is coming up next.
AFR.
Love telling you about DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. And while the NBA playoffs, now the NBA Finals, continue to roll on, DraftKings continues to offer great deals for our listeners. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Again, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Say it again, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Bet just $5 on an NBA Finals game, and they'll give you $150 in free bets if you hit. So bet on Game 3. Bet on the Celtics. Bet on the Dubs, whichever it is. If you hit, boom, a $5 bet hit, they'll give you $150 in free bets on the site. Of course, same game parlays. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. That is DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the promo code Baton Rouge. Again, be sure to use the promo code Baton Rouge at DraftKings. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Availability varies by parish. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions. Licensee partner Golden Nugget, Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-7-STOP.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi with breaking news from ESPN's Adam Schefter. Rams All-Pro defensive tackle Aaron Donald has agreed to a 2-year, $60 million extension. He indicated on the I Am Athlete podcast last week his return for the 2022 season was contingent on getting a new deal. Another civil lawsuit filed against Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson, raising the number of women who've accused him of inappropriate sexual conduct to 24. Watson has denied all wrongdoing. Colorado goes for the sweep of Edmonton in Game 4 of the NHL's West Final tonight. NBA, ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports Jazz All-Star guard Donovan Mitchell unsettled, unnerved, and wondering what the loss of Coach Quinn Snyder means in the larger scope for the organization and himself. Mitchell will be a factor in Utah's head coaching search, explains ESPN senior NBA writer Andre Snellings.
Mitchell is going to be a key to whatever decision they make because either they're going to try to build around him or they're going to try to let him go, and they know that there'll be something that has to either replace him or there has to be a rebuild. So I think he's going to be a key factor.
Andre Snellings on Greeny. Snyder stepped down yesterday.
Feeling great starts with a great shave. And great shaves start with Barbasol Shaving Cream. And for a limited time only, capture your Barbasol Jurassic World collector cans before they're gone.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt. I am sweating. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Mike Triplett, bottom of this hour. LSU batting bottom 3 there in Hattiesburg. Tigers leading 3-1 on Southern Miss. A leadoff walk to Dylan Cruz raced as Jacob Berry grounds into a double play. Last week, SEC spring meetings were held in Destin. Our buddy Ross Dellenger of Sports Illustrated was there. He's on Twitter at Ross Dellenger. Be sure to follow him, although I'm sure most of you already do. Delly, thanks for the time, man. How are you?
Good, Matt. How you doing?
I'm doing really well, thanks. Were Jimbo and Nick civil?
Well, it sounds like certainly publicly they were. Privately, it also sounds like they were.
Okay.
Of course, we don't know for sure. We weren't in the room with the coaches and athletic directors. So we can only acquire information based on what some have said, and it sounds like they did have a good, cordial meeting. The coaches did. I don't really know if Nick and him actually talked, though. He was asked that, Jimbo was, and he didn't confirm that they actually talked or anything. So who knows? I don't know if they repaired anything, their relationship or what. But they seem to be civil. You know, Matt. When there's a lot of drama like that happens the week before a big event like these meetings, you know the meetings are probably going to be boring because they've all been slapped on the wrist and told to play nice, and that's exactly what happened.
Is it fair to say that the biggest talking point, storyline, however you want to describe it, was the future of football scheduling?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was number one because it was really the only topic that would have ended with some decision, or the week would have ended with some decision, or the only interesting topic or legislative matter that would have ended in a decision. Of course, it didn't end in a decision. They're somewhat split on the scheduling, 8-game schedule versus a 9-game schedule. Kind of split right in half. It sounds like I think they left the meetings maybe a little closer to having some kind of agreement, and I think surprisingly that is more support for the 8-game model, the 1 permanent opponent and 7 rotational opponents. And I say that because of the uncertainty around the college football playoff expansion. I think a lot of schools that support the 9-game model, like at least a couple of them, I think maybe, were convinced that maybe because of the uncertainty around the expansion, they should do 8. I mean, why add an extra game, if you could potentially, that extra game could be saddle yourself with a loss and keep you out of a 14 playoff. Of course, a 12-team playoff or maybe even an 8-team playoff, you might be able to suffer that loss and still make it the field. So the uncertainty around the CFP is really an issue, and so is the TV revenue. Matt, if they increase it by 1 game, they add a 9th game, that's 8 new games. So that's 8 new big games too, a lot of them.
Sure.
And that's extra inventory for ESPN and the new TV deal. Well, guess what? There's not extra revenue that comes along with it unless ESPN comes to the renegotiating table.
So you would just be adding games and essentially giving more inventory to ESPN.
For free, correct.
Right.
So those 2 things, CFP uncertainty and the fact that there's not an increase in revenue with an increase in inventory, have a lot of people, more people than entered the week saying, well, maybe we should just play 8. But of course, the big issue with 8 is you lose the the annual playing of the secondary rivalries like the Auburn, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, or the new one, Texas A&M.
Well, I would just be crushed if we didn't get to see Auburn, Georgia every year. It would just be devastating. I don't know how the college football season could go on without watching Tennessee get the holy hell kicked out of them by Alabama every year. Stop the presses. Anyway, so when, Ross, do we expect that there would be a decision made?
Greg Sankey said late summer, mid-fall. So August to October. I guess maybe we could see some kind of decision be made. There's no rush. The only reason there would be a rush somewhat is that there is, schedules made years in advance. Some schools have made their non-conference schedule is like completed for 5 to 10 years out. Several schools have 2 Power 5 scheduled on some of those years. If you increase to 9 games, that's 11 Power 5 opponents. So schools will potentially be getting out of those games and certainly need a little more heads up, to get out of those games if they can. So that's really the only deadline issue is the this scheduling of far out games by some of these programs.
He's on Twitter at Ross Dellenger. So following your reporting from, about 2 miles down the beach, I did notice that NIL was kind of the other big talking point there. What realistically, Ross, could they have been discussing or debating with regard to NIL this past week?
Well, I think they're discussing and debating solutions to the situation with NIL right now. Players are, for the most part, at the Power 5, kind of, especially at the elite Power 5 schools, are getting paid a salary through NIL. These deals are disguised as NIL deals, and they're salary for players, plain and simple. So how can you, and it's kind of unregulated, so how can you regulate it? How can you actually play the players a real salary, as employees, which is coming down the pipeline through the courts that athletes may assume be deemed employees. So one of the big questions is, how do you get ahead of that? How do you start paying the players from the school? Like, how does the school start paying players instead of relying on kind of sometimes rogue boosters to do it disguised as NIL? So that's a big talking point, is how better to compensate and how more in a regulatory system to compensate players. So there are a lot of heavy conversations. Every SEC spring meetings on Thursday afternoon from about 1 to 5 o'clock. The presidents meet, and then toward the end of their meeting, the last 2 hours or so, the ADs meet with them, and they all meet. And it is the big session. It's 2 to 3 hours with presidents and athletic directors sitting around. And this one included a lot of heavy discussion about making, how to make athletes employees. Is it possible? How to pay them directly? How to pay them more than they're earning now? How to regulate the whole system? Lot of really deep, interesting talk. Of course, all these solutions were just thrown up on the wall, Matt. And if I'm talking to people who are in those meetings, nothing stuck. Right? We're not near a resolution.
Before you go, is what else was at the? I know Greg Sankey kind of had a. Is it sort of like a state of the conference, the same way he does at media days? When Greg Sankey spoke, what were some of the main takeaways from his conversation?
I don't know if it was. He really doesn't do the state of the program. He does talk in a news conference setting, and there's about, obviously it's not like media days. There's only about 30 or 40 media credentialed to this.
Okay.
And we do gather with him on Tuesdays of meetings, on Wednesdays, and then on the final day on Friday. So he does talk 3 different times in a news kind of conference setting. But there's not a whole lot of state of, so to speak, like media days. It's really not like that. Most of it is a question and answer type of ordeal about what they're legislatively, what they're doing at meetings and such. But this last week's meetings included a lot of, like we're talking about, a lot of big, heavy topics, the future of college sports. And Greg Sankey's right in the middle of it. He's the Transformation Committee co-chair, the NCAA Transformation Committee, that is trying to figure out a way to kind of deregulate things, and the conferences making their own rules and controlling. So there's a lot of that talk, but I think we'll get more of a real state of the conference at media days.
Okay. Will there be anything else of note between now and what's it going to be, Ross? 5-6 weeks till we're all in Atlanta for media days?
God, I hope not.
Just a lot of whiskey, right?
It's just been nonstop. So we are entering the quiet phase. I say that knowing that within any minute, the Big Ten could release and break news on their media rights deal, which is coming to the final chapter, I believe, and being finalized. But outside of that, it may be a little NIL enforcement stuff that might be bubbling up.
Okay.
We're entering this quiet phase of about 4 to 6 weeks from mid-June to mid-July before media day starts. So let's hope it's quiet.
Of course, you can follow it all there at Sports Illustrated. He's on Twitter at Ross Dellenger. Always appreciate it, man. Thanks for a couple of minutes.
Yep. All right, Matt. Thanks.
See you, bud. All right, it's after further review. Mikhail Hilliard allows a leadoff single and is subsequently hooked by Jay Johnson, and Paul Gervais issues a 5-pitch walk. So first and second now with nobody out for Southern Miss. Candidly, I do not like pulling Mikhail Hilliard there. Actually, while Dellenger was speaking, I tweeted that. I get it. You would always, in a win or go home scenario, you would rather pull a pitcher a hitter too soon than a hitter too late, because there was no tomorrow. But Mikhail had danced around and out of trouble each of the first 3 innings, and boy, it looked like he had a lot left in the tank, and I like how mentally tough he is. It did not look like he was missing. Did he walk anybody? I don't think he walked.
I don't think so. I don't have his line in front of me, but I don't think so.
Through 3 innings, not that I recall. So I don't like hooking Mikhail. It's spilled milk at this point. Gervais is on the bump, and he's struggling to find it a little bit right now, as it's first and second, nobody out, and he's got a 2-1 count currently on the current hitter. All right, we'll knock out a quick break, come back, update this half inning, and great honor for former Tiger great Brady James. We'll get to that, Mike Triplett, in 15 minutes. Stay here.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. We are into the throes of summer. I got home from our beach vacation, looked out into our sort of back patio area, and the dippledinas that we planted before we left, still thriving and beautiful. No matter what type of plant or flower, if you want to add a pop of color or to decorate and beautify your exterior spaces, those flower beds, those patio pots, you can do it courtesy of Clegg's Nursery because they got full greenhouses, a great selection, and a helpful staff. If you're not a green thumb, you don't have any clue what to plant, don't worry, neither do I. That's why I'll sometimes just take a picture of my patio, my flower beds, whatever, and say, what would look good here? What needs the least amount of care that I could plant here? Clegg's has the answers. And Clegg's is partnered with True Value Hardware Store, so anything you'd find at a True Value Hardware Store, you'll also find at Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Buy local, shop local. Be sure to tell them Matt sent you in. The Clegg's Nursery.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not 1, but 2 NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, Front-to-Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front to Back Boat Service.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $5,000 off the new 2022 Wagoneer. We have Wagoneers in stock with $5,000 off. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Call 288-8138 or visit reliefwindows.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Well, Tigers are in a bind. After Paul Gervais issued a walk, gave up an infield single and to load the bases, and then Tyler McManus just let one get to the backstop. It was not in the dirt. It was one he just did not catch. And or a run came home. So now it's 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. LSU up 4-2. So LSU's 2-run lead now. The 3-run lead is now 2, and it is very much in jeopardy with nobody out and 2 men in scoring position for Southern Miss. Paul Gervais got to limit the damage here. I could do my thing again on the catching position, but quite honestly, at this point, if you don't see it, then I have nothing to talk to you about anymore. Like, this is a disease on this LSU baseball team. And I'm telling you, they don't have a better option because McManus is better than Travinsky, but they don't have a better option with Alex Milazzo out. But what you just saw is precisely why. Precisely why. Having, hell, not even an elite defensive catcher, someone who can just catch is critical. You got to be able to handle the pitching staff. You got to be able to control the running game. You got to be able to your pitcher has to be able to trust the catcher if he wants to throw a breaking ball 58 feet that he's throwing it against a brick wall. It's not going to the backstop. And LSU just hasn't had that all year, and it just cost you another run. So it's very, very hard to stomach. And even the most ardent of you who have fought with me on that all year, at this point in the season when things like that continue to happen and continue to cost you runs, game after game after game, even the most ardent, the most hard-headed of you who continue to argue a stupid point, are silent now. None of you have a damn thing to say. All right, it's after further review. We'll say Paul Gervais gets a strikeout, so 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. It would be a minor miracle if Paul Gervais is able to get out of this without giving up the lead that LSU had built. But it's a big spot for him. You know, the other thing to consider, as we were talking about in the break, bringing in Gervais here, I get it. You're bringing in the guy who, I mean, it's a win or go home scenario. Like you have to do things that are unconventional that you wouldn't do in a normal week or during the course of a regular season. If you lose this game, your season is over. So there's a ground ball. They do get the runner at first base, but another run scores, so it's 4-3 LSU. Runner on third, 2 outs. See if Gervais can get out of this and maintain the lead. But you know, the toughest part now, because you've gone to Gervais, is whoever is next. If you get into a scenario, and I mean, I hope LSU does get into the scenario, but if you get into a scenario where you need the final 3 outs to win in advance, who do you give the ball to? Because now you've used your closer here in the 4th inning. So I would love it if LSU gets in that scenario. I would actually prefer if LSU would just go score like 20 and it just doesn't matter who you run out there the rest of the way. But you know, they're going to have to keep scoring. I mean, that goes without saying, but so far the LSU offense has been able to break through and have some early success here. You know, Gervais needs to bear down and get out of this. He's got an 0-2 count with 2 outs, so he's a pitch away with a runner on third from getting out of this, and it would be huge if he could. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEYE.com. I saw Sage Ryan, as a matter of fact. LSU safety Sage Ryan, the most recent to have LASIK done at the Williamson Eye Center. So many Tigers, so many great athletes have trusted Dr. Blake Williamson, the Williamson Eye Center, with their LASIK to get superhuman vision. Sage Ryan, the latest, and you could be next. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEYE.com. Do what I did. Trust your eyes to the best. No matter your age or refractive issue, you want to see 20/20 without contacts or glasses, the Williamson Eye Center can help. 924-2020 or WilliamsonEYE.com. Fly ball to center field. Dylan Cruz runs it down, so the Tigers do, in fact, escape with the lead still 4-3, but Southern Miss inches closer. They scratch across 2 to put up a crooked number, and it's a 4-3 Tigers heading now to the bottom of the 4th. See if LSU can go get a little bit more back. All right, it's after further review. Mike Triplett in less than 10 minutes from right now. I want to talk some Saints OTAs, etc. Congrats to Brady James. One quick second, excuse me. Congrats to Brady James, former Tiger great, who today, it was announced, is on the ballot for the College Football Hall of Fame. Kevin Falk is going to be inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame this December. So far, LSU has 10 players and 5 coaches already enshrined in the College Football Hall of Fame. And Brady James will look to and Falk will become the 11th, by the way. Will become the 11th player enshrined when he's enshrined this December. And now Brady James is on the ballot for the class of 2023. The announcement will come shortly after the new year, and then in December of 2023 is when that class will be enshrined. The criteria to be for election to the or consideration to the College Football Hall of Fame, you have to have received first-team All-America honors by one of the recognized publications that make up the consensus All-America team. You got to be 10 years out of college football. Achievements and post-football record as a citizen is also heavily weighed in there. And then nominations are submitted by the schools, et cetera. But LSU has really, they went a long stretch without having an election into the College Football Hall of Fame. Doc Fenton was elected in 1971, and then Tommy Casanova in 95. Then from 95 to 08, actually, when Billy Cannon, who had previously been enshrined, and then after his arrest was removed from the Hall of Fame and then re-elected in 2008. Jerry Stovall in 2010, Charles Alexander in 2012, Burt Jones in 2016, Glenn Dorsey in 2020, now Kevin Falk in 2022. So you've doubled your number of College Football Hall of Famers from 2008 to 2022 that you had from 1957 until 2008. So you went 50 years really with 5 members of the College Football Hall of Fame enshrined, and you've more than doubled that number now in a little more than a decade, which is certainly worthy and evident of the era of LSU football that we've lived through over these last 20 years, and a lot of these guys now coming up for College Football Hall of Fame enshrinement, and many of them worthy. And Brady James is certainly worthy. Brady James is one of those guys that came to LSU when it wasn't cool to come to LSU. In 1999 when he showed up at LSU and at the end of the DiNardo era there, and was there for the start of the Nick Saban era, and was one of the cornerstones that helped bridge that transition, and was just a tackling machine. Still holds the LSU single-season record with 154 tackles, number 2 in school history in career tackles with 418. He was a pillar of stability for 4 years as a starting linebacker at LSU, was a 4th-round pick of the Cowboys, played 10 seasons, 157 games, and his impact off the field has been massively significant as well. Of course, he's had the Brady James for his mother, who died of breast cancer, you might remember, which happened during his playing career. If I'm not mistaken, it was right before that Peach Bowl in 2000. Still played in that game and was just won the defensive MVP of that ball game, and of course had the Etta James Memorial Meet. He's just been a great citizen as well as a great football player as well. And I would love to see Brady James be elected to the College Football Hall of Fame. Listen, over the next decade plus, all of the great players that rolled through LSU in the 2000s are going to come on this ballot. I mean, you're going to see LSU have the opportunity to nominate somebody every year, because every year somebody new is going to come onto the ballot and meet these criteria. And you're going to see LSU's number of College Football Hall of Fame enshrinements continue to balloon, as it should, as the golden era of LSU football is now going to be recognized. And Brady James was at the front end of that. He was, obviously his last season was 2002, did not win a national championship in 2003, but was a major part, especially defensively, of building that culture around, what Nick Saban brought. Was a member, of course, of the 2001 SEC championship team that upset number 2 Tennessee in that SEC championship game, and went on to win that Sugar Bowl against Illinois. So congrats to Brady James for his nomination. He is officially on the ballot for the College Football Hall of Fame, and we'll find out in December if, in fact, he, or sometime just after the new year, if, in fact, he was elected for the class of 2023. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. When we come back, our buddy Mike Triplett will be here. Always enjoy talking some Saints with Mike, especially with OTAs having now come and gone, and mandatory minicamp right around the bend. Stick around here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Last week, hurricane season officially began. We know what it's like. It's just part of living in South Louisiana. Storms are part of our reality, and so are power outages. Last year for Ida, we lost power for a week. And Erica and I decided never again. So we called Schutz Electric. John Schutz and his staff do an incredible job. They install Generac whole home generators. You've heard of it. You probably have neighbors or family members that have them. And when the power goes out, you're probably super envious. I know I am. The amount of times we've had to pack stuff up because Drew has medicines that need to be refrigerated, an oxygen concentrator that you need power for, we couldn't put it at risk anymore. So we called Schutz Electric. They only use in-house installers as well. Financing is available. They've got great inventory right now. Call Schutz Electric and see if a whole home generator is right for you. CESofLA.com.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more information, visit garciadidmyroof.com.
Join 100.7 The Tiger and Our Lady of the Lake Ascension, Saturday, June 25th at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center in Gonzales.
Enjoy live music from Ted Durr, Mike Broussard and the Night Train, and Jamie Badron and the Kickin' Cajuns. Make sure you grab a delicious plate of jambalaya from the Mike Ward's Liberty Safes Jambalaya Cook-Off to raise money for the Alzheimer's services of the capital area.
The Swamp Pop Music Festival with Supreme Chevrolet.
Louisiana's country station.
100.7 The Tiger.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Come on over to Corval Toyota to pre-order your next vehicle, and you'll never pay over MSRP. Browse, reserve, pick up, and enjoy. It's that simple. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Call 288-8138 or visit reliefwindows.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, Saints OTAs come and gone. Next week it'll be mandatory mini camp. Mike Triplett, ESPN.com, good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. Mike, as always, we appreciate it, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. I didn't think this through when I agreed to come on, though. That it'd be like the heart of the LSU game. Is anyone listening to us right now?
Well, So I've always approached this one of two ways. One is you either go all in and do like a baseball companion show, right? So you just talk about the game as it's unfolding, or
the Manning cast.
Manning cast. Exactly. In the parlance of our times, it would be a companion show. You're basically the second screen, right? People watch the game, and then they have you on the second screen. Or you realize the people that want to watch the game are watching the game, and people that don't care are here. So you talk about everything but the game. I'm kind of doing a little bit of a hodgepodge of that today. But what I know is that every time we talk about Saints, it always generates enormous interest, both live and on demand as well, especially in an offseason like this, Mike, which is so transformative, as you and I have talked about a bunch. Let me start with this. OTAs, what realistically should I or a Saints fan or anybody expect to see or take away from an OTA?
It's so tough, Matt. They don't wear pads yet. They're all in shorts. They're no contact. They're walking through, and it'll be true of minicamp as well. It'll be true of the first 3 or 4 days of training camp before they bring the pads on. So, anything you're seeing competitively is really hard to say, it's definitive. We do really get a good feel for the passing game, though. I mean, the most of our observations will be about quarterbacks, receivers, and defensive backs. And you'll get some one-on-ones, who's covering a guy down the field, and you'll see a lot of that. But I think that contributes to the fact that if you look through the history of summer splash reports, receivers will very often get overhyped this time of year. Like, this guy looks great. He makes 4 great catches at practice. You never hear anybody saying how great a defensive tackle looks in OTAs because they're going through the motions. I remember Zach Street had a great line one year where he said his goal was to keep Cameron Jordan healthy. That was his number one goal.
Properly stated. One of the things we talked about initially, though, was how many veterans were not there for the first round of OTAs. Yeah. Was the attendance, and I guess notably Jarvis Landry, right? Was the attendance significant for the second round?
No. This will be the third week this week, and next week will be minicamp, which is mandatory. So if somebody is not at mandatory minicamp, you really want to know why. I will agree with you, though. The attendance is lower than it has been in most years. But also, we haven't had an OTA in 3 years. So there's a little bit of an evolution here. I actually remember 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, Mark Ingram decided, you know what, I decided to train in Florida. I'm not holding out for a contract extension. It's just what he decided to do. He didn't, he felt like that'd be better for him and his workout regimen. And, I mean, there could be some element of that, too. These players the last couple of years worked out on their own the entire offseason. Don't show up until training camp. There were no OTAs. There was no mini camp because of COVID in 2020. And then last year, Sean Payton decided, let's kind of do what we did last year. And if they liked the way that worked for them, if they liked the way their bodies felt doing that, that could have something to do with it. So I don't think that means Alvin Kamara and Marshawn Lattimore and everyone else we haven't seen is holding out for a contract extension. Certainly not in Marshawn Lattimore's case. That's not the case.
Sure.
So it could be sort of just individual choices about, OTAs are about installing the playbook and they feel like, they don't need to be a part of that. But if we see some people missing during the 3 days of minicamp next week, we'll be head scratching and wondering why. But the one attendance thing that stood out most to me was that Michael Thomas was here doing his rehab. Even though we haven't seen him on the practice field, that is obviously a positive sign compared to last year when there was a lack of communication between the two sides. It's just the latest sign that they're on the same page. There are still some question marks about Michael Thomas's health and how soon that ankle will be 100%. But I think it was a further sign that, his commitment to the team is strong right now.
Mike Triplett's with us. Now, you did just say that sometimes people overreact to receivers. Like, oh, did you see the catch? Well, I'm going to ask you about a receiver because Jarvis Landry was there. So what was your impression seeing Jarvis Landry in the black and gold for the first time?
Well, I mean, I have a positive and a negative impression of Jarvis Landry. First of all, I feel like if Jarvis Landry and Drew Brees spent their entire career together, he'd average 150 catches a season. So it's kind of too bad that Jarvis Landry has never paired with Drew Brees in his prime. And I do actually wonder how Jameis Winston is going to work with Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry and Alvin Kamara, all guys who could catch 100 balls a season in the short and intermediate range, which is obviously not Jameis Winston's favorite pass. But the thing that stands out to me in a positive way with Jarvis Landry is, I mean, last year we suffered through a really, really tough receiving core to watch. They've got guys who belong on NFL rosters. I think highly of Marquez Callaway and Deontay Hardy, and even Traquan Smith, when he's been healthy, has done some good things. But just the amount of guys who weren't getting open last year, the amount of guys who weren't catching the ball when it was placed in a place where they could catch it. Jarvis Landry, just seeing him on the practice field, he's a pro, and it came across. I mean, he was the go-to guy for. It was only Indy, whether it was Winston or Dalton or Book throwing it to him. He was a go-to guy. He was getting open in traffic. The other thing that Bolt, I know Nick Underhill wrote about this last week. We were commenting to each other. I said, "Oh, you should have heard what he said to this guy that was trying to knock the ball out of his hand." He goes, "Oh, it's funny because over here he said this to the guy." He was asked about it afterward. He said, "I'm not a trash talker, but I'm competitive," and he wasn't afraid to chirp out there. So they're just bringing, a really proven veteran to a position group that was missing that so much last year.
Impressions of Jameis and the quarterbacks?
Well, I mean, it's just nice to see Jameis out there 7 months after he tore his ACL. So that's a positive sign that everything is on a good timeline with his recovery. I mean, ACLs used to be scary, and now seven months later, he's out there taking just about every snap in practice. And Andy Dalton is obviously, I mean, I don't think there's probably a better, I mean, I guess you could maybe make an argument for Teddy Bridgewater in Miami, and maybe I'm forgetting someone else, but what an option to have back there. I mean, it's just such a reminder that, oh my gosh, this guy's like won 100 NFL games in playoffs, been to the playoffs multiple times, and especially last year. That's another position group where we had to suffer through some of the people who were playing at quarterback because the Saints went through 4 of them in one season, and what a nice backstop that is. So, I mean, I think that position is in as good a shape as it's going to be when you consider what they've spent on it. I mean, there's a lot of teams spending $40 million on their quarterback, and the Saints have a, as good as you can, I think as much bang for the buck, you could make a comparison for everyone that doesn't have Aaron Rodgers or, Tom Brady or Pat Mahomes out there.
Before you go, Mike, you did have a nice write-up on Abram Smith, rookie out of Baylor, and I mean, I'm anticipating he makes this team. I know that there's a lot of people who feel the same way. Can you maybe just elaborate a little on where Abram Smith fits in here when we've seen the Saints over the years have a lot of success with undrafted rookie free agent running backs,
sure,
and where he might fit here?
Well, the opportunity is great because even if he doesn't make a huge instant impact this year, maybe Alvin Kamara's suspension doesn't even happen this year, depending on how long that court case takes, or maybe it's not as long as we think it's going to be, and he stays healthy, and maybe Mark Ingram stays healthy. But Mark Ingram is, I think, 32 years old right now, and he's in the final year of his contract. And then Tony Jones Jr., they liked what they saw from him last year, but, he didn't live up to their expectations. So there's a wide open battle there to be the next running back in line. And they didn't draft one, and they haven't signed one in free agency, even though they talked to Sony Michel and have kicked the tires on other guys. So there's room in this backfield, and I don't think any of us would have been surprised if they would have used a second-round pick on a running back or a third-round pick or any pick. And instead they get a guy that a lot of people probably thought should have been going a lot earlier in day 3. I mean, he ran for over 1,600 yards last year for a top 5 team in college football, and he had to go the undrafted route. So obviously there's a lot of talent there. So you've got talent and opportunity, and that's usually a pretty good combination for an undrafted rookie.
He can play linebacker too, Mike. So I mean, maybe we can run him.
That's why I wrote about him. I didn't write about him because look, like I just told you. If anybody tells you, this running back is tearing up OTAs, it's like based on what? Nobody tried to tackle him, and they're not wearing pads. But He certainly looks the part. He's a big guy, but I'm just so fascinated that he didn't just play linebacker either. As a junior, the final 4 games of the season, he led them in tackles every game. He was their leading tackler, and they're like, hey, do you want to try coming back to running back? And he said, yeah, I'll try it. And he runs for 1,600 yards. That speaks highly. But where we will see him on the field, and the reason they tried him out at linebacker in the first place at Baylor is because he was dominating on special teams and coverage units, and that's the first thing Dennis Allen mentioned too. So if you have the office pool and all your friends are watching a baseball game right now, that's your lock. That's my guy. That's my undrafted rookie that makes the team right there.
He is Mike Triplett. He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett. You can read his stuff at ESPN.com. Be sure to go read that piece about Abram Smith. It's good stuff. Mike, we appreciate you, man. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right, be well. It is After Further Review. Monday show is brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com, 288-8138, 288-8138, and ReliefWindows.com. Paul Gervais just played with fire and somehow escaped without getting burned. He walked the first 2 hitters of the inning. Southern Miss bunted, which, #neverbunt. Again, it feels like the right thing to do. You gave up and out for a guy that couldn't throw the ball over the plate. Pop up, inning over. And Paul Gervais escapes without giving up a run. So LSU still up 4-3. Let's go get some runs, please. Look, you build that cushion back. It's time. It's been a little bit of a drought here. Let's build that cushion back up. Top of the order is coming around for LSU here in the bottom of the 5th. They're bottom 5 here. So it's Bianco leading off the 5th here?
Yeah, Bianco Cruz, Pearson Cruz.
I'm doing my best to host this show and keep an eye on the game.
That's why you have me here.
I'm right.
That's why
Musso is doing his best to keep an eye on the game, and then sometimes every now and again look at me to see if I'm ready to go to break. That's how it just goes whenever LSU's playing. I understand. All right, it's After Further Review. Quick break. Here's hoping LSU can get some offense going here in the bottom of the 5th. They lead at 4-3. We'll keep you posted. Musso will have Tigers in the pros. That means you're going to have to pay attention, Musso. All right, this is your segment. Stick around.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Pluckers. Hey, look, a lot of you right now might be at Pluckers watching this baseball game. Remember, you got 9 regional championships today. And, of course, the nightcap, you got Arkansas and Oklahoma State. Great opportunity to get by Pluckers every Monday. All-you-can-eat wings. So get by either location, Nicholson just south of the box and Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. All Monday, every Monday, all-you-can-eat wings. Pay one low price, eat as many wings as you want. That's every Monday at Pluckers. Of course, best place to watch sports. Not only do you have award-winning jumbo chicken wings, you got ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, sports on TV, wall-to-wall. The Bluebonnet location has the 8-foot by 13-foot screen wall. It's incredible. You want to watch your favorite team in spectacular high definition, always have an unobstructed view, eat great wings, drink beer. It's at Pluckers. Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine in, carry out. Remember, it's Pluckers where if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Auctioner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Auctioner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioner Baton.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Call 288-8138 or visit reliefwindows.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Well, those are the kinds of things that'll drive you crazy. Drew Bianco, who struck out on 3 pitches in his first AB, walked, drew a full count walk, and then was just thrown out at going to second base. Pearson, Josh Pearson, squared to bunt, pulled back. Bianco took off. Somebody missed a sign there. I don't know who it was. I don't think Drew Bianco has attempted a straight steal in his entire LSU career. Can you remember,
Not off the top of my head. If he has it, they've been very few and far between.
So there's no way that he was just stealing second. It was either they had called for a bunt, a hit and run. There was some action on there, and somebody missed a sign. I don't know if it was Pearson or if it was Bianco, but that's something that I would love to know after the game. But LSU just wasted a leadoff walk to the 9-hole hitter. Tigers lead at 4-3. They're bottom 5 right now with 1 out, and Pearson at the plate leading off today for LSU. All right, Muso, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
So Josh Smith's Major League Baseball career was off to a very, very fast start. He's hitting .417 in 5 games, but unfortunately now he's landed on the injured list with a sprained shoulder. So hopefully speedy recovery for Josh Smith because he was hitting the cover off the baseball at the big league level.
Yeah, 10-day injured list. Texted with him today because we were supposed to come on the show. They're in Florida right now, I think. I think he said Tuesday. He's supposed to be back. So, yeah.
It's tomorrow. We love to see
I
that.
think next week.
Oh, next week.
Next week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Kramer Robertson has a new home. A little bit of a surprising one.
This is weird.
The Atlanta Braves claimed Kramer off of waivers. He'll be in AAA Gwinnett with the Spinners, but it's going to be tough. He's going to need an injury. Probably get back up to the next level. I mean, you got Dansby Swanson and Ozzie Albies in the middle infield there in Atlanta.
Yeah, where does he play? That's weird.
Yeah, no, it's a weird move.
Hap being traded to San Francisco made a ton of sense. Buster Posey retired. They need a catcher. That made a lot of sense.
Right.
This doesn't make any sense.
Nope. Alex Lang has an absolutely filthy fastball. It looks like a wiffle ball when he throws it.
By the way.
But it goes 97 miles an hour.
What the hell? As great as he was at LSU.
He was good.
Why didn't we see this at LSU?
I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
It doesn't even look real.
That looks like CGI.
Yeah, it doesn't look real. It all added up to an inning and 2/3 yesterday. 2 hits, a run, walked 2, and struck out 1. 31 pitches, 14 strikes. 1.61 the ERA for Lang.
That's incredible.
Pretty good.
I mean, that looks like something out of Flubber.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely does not look real. That's for sure.
You put snot on the ball?
Got an arm like yours. Put whatever I can on it. Kevin Gausman yesterday suffered the loss through 3 2/3 innings. 9 hits, 5 runs. Only 3 were earned. Walked 1 and struck out 3. But 5 4 Gausman now as the Blue Jays fell 8-6 to the Minnesota Twins. That is Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Father's Day is right around the corner. Ladies, treat dad with a gift from Lee Michaels. Maybe a beautiful watch. Awesome timepieces over there at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Learn more at lmfj.com. That's lmfj.com. No matter the occasion, they will always be thrilled with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Learn more, lmfj.com. 2 locations in Baton Rouge, corporate in Bocage, and in the Mall of Louisiana, lmfj.com. Dylan Cruz with a 2-out single, and Southern Miss looks like they're ready for a pitching change. Bottom 5, LSU leading 4-3. Sports Center is coming up next.
AFR.
GMFS Mortgage and GMFSmortgage.com celebrating 23 years of making dreams come true. 23 years of changing lives. That's what GMFS Mortgage is doing. GMFSmortgage.com, y'all. It is still a great time to buy. Do you realize that even though interest rates have ticked up to around the 5s, the historical average is north of 8. But what's happened now with the bump in interest rates, you're seeing the home market really start to settle. You're starting to see more homes and more properties listed, so it's easier to buy a home. So if you're in the market, get pre-qualified today. Call a local loan officer from GMFS Mortgage. You can go to gmfsmortgage.com, hit the loan officers tab right there at the top of the page. Find the office nearest you. They are Louisiana's largest local lender. GMFS Mortgage is my lender for life, and they should be yours as well. gmfsmortgage.com. GMFS Mortgage. Changing live.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you. Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not 1, but 2 NMEA certified techs. Family owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years. Front to Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front to Back Boat Service.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news, the Rams making All-Pro defensive tackle Aaron Donald the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. The teams reworked his deal, a $40 million raise. The contract now 3 years, $95 million. LA no longer concerned with any potential Donald retirement and is set up to repeat as Super Bowl champs, believes ESPN's Dan Orlovsky.
I think simply put, this means and solidifies that the Rams are the team to beat in the NFC, and they are right on par with the team to beat in the NFL when it comes to them and the Buffalo Bills. They had no shot of getting back to and winning the Super Bowl without Aaron Donald. I think they are now, because of this, the favorite.
Another civil lawsuit filed against Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson, raising the number of women who have accused him of inappropriate sexual conduct to 24. Watson has denied all wrongdoing. Avalanche go for the sweep of the Oilers in Game 4 of the NHL's West Final tonight. A win puts Colorado in the Stanley Cup Final for the first time in 21 years. Phil Mickelson, set to return, added his name to the field for the Saudi-backed Live Invitational Series golf tournament, which starts Thursday in London.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you have in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Good to be back. Appreciate everybody who filled in while I was gone over the past week. Good vacation. Thank all of you for being here today. Kind of a weird day. LSU's playing Southern Miss, and a game that, if LSU loses, their season's over. It's an elimination game. Win or advance, but or win or go home, I should say. But we push on. I'm assuming a lot of you are watching the game. Maybe you have us on the second screen. We appreciate that. Tigers are up 4-3 here in the ninth. In the sixth. Top six. Paul Gervais, who really has struggled to find it. I'm quite honestly surprised they let him go lead off back out there in the sixth inning, and there's a leadoff double now off the wall for Southern Miss. So the Eagles now have the tying run on second base with nobody out here in the sixth inning. I think in yesterday's game, the decisions Jay Johnson made with his staff yesterday, I thought were on point. I just think the guys didn't perform. And sometimes that happens. But Dutton got you 7 outs and left with a 2-run lead, and Grant Taylor just couldn't get anybody out. And I think in the moment going to Raiselman or going to Cooper when they did was the right decision. You went from hard-throwing righty to the lefty with the weird angle that has been so good for you so often, and Cooper struggled early. And, to go from Cooper to Raiselman, the hard-throwing righty who was really rested, who could have gotten you 9 outs if you needed it, they were the right decisions. You just didn't really have guys perform yesterday at the level that they had. We talk about it with baseball all the time. Baseball is a game where in football, your offensive coordinator is playing a game of chess. He can call plays. He can generate mismatches. He can set up plays and circumstances for later in a game. In baseball, you set your lineup and save a couple of decisions. It's really on the guys to go. You can't go throw the pitch for them. You can't go stand in the batter's box. You need guys to execute. And baseball is a game of failure. And what's the old adage? You fail 70% of the time, you're in the Hall of Fame. So as long as you have good logic behind the decisions you make, then you can live with the result. And I think Jay Johnson, you'd have to live with the result yesterday. I think he made a lot of the right decisions in the right moments. I'm not so sure I agree today. I think they lifted Hilliard too soon. I didn't like going to Gervais in that moment, and I don't like sticking with Paul Gervais right now. And I think the biggest issue they're going to have is if they do get to the ninth with a lead, who do you give the ball to? Because your closer right now is being burned. So Gervais is at 51 pitches. Again, it's top six. LSU leading Southern Miss 4-3. Gervais with a 2-2 count on the batter. And that is lined to third. Beautiful play there by Jacob Berry to nab it. So Berry's not had an awesome year at third, but that, granted, I'm watching it on a tiny screen. That looked like a hell of a play to nab it there at third base. Okay, so we'll keep you posted here. What? Oh, just the play? Yeah. So we'll keep you posted here as this game transpires. Tigers have had some opportunities offensively that haven't been able to capitalize. A leadoff walk, 2 innings ago, and or last inning, I should say. And Drew Bianco got thrown out at second on what was clearly a missed sign either from Bianco or Josh Pearson at the plate. But Tigers lead at 4-3, and they're now you're counting outs now. You're that's a hard hit ball down the line. It was just foul. Gervais ain't missing no bats, bro. Like.
That's why I was laughing at that line drive, because it was just smoked at Berry. He caught it. I mean, thank goodness.
I just don't understand.
I don't get it.
What Jay's doing here. And maybe his thought is if Gervais can get him through 6, he can go Vittmeyer, Fontenot to finish it with your 2 fifth-year guys. And that you do have Hasty as well, who could come back if you want to give him something different to look at. I don't know that you keep pumping hard throwing righties at him.
Still have Collins. He threw 19 pitches.
Yeah, you could certainly go Collins again.
He was good. He was good.
He was very good. Man, it's to a degree I understand. Like, he's going with the arms that he trusts, the guys that have performed for him all year. But sometimes it's evident. And as quick a hook as he had on Hilliard, I'm surprised he's continuing to let Gervais go. And do you have it? What is Gervais's longest outing of the year? He's at 55 pitches. This has got to be his long outing of the year.
Not on pitch count, but I'm pretty sure he pitched 3 2/3 innings might be his longest. He might have gotten 4 for you once, but he's at, for the week now, 60 some odd pitches.
He had pitched 18 in game 1.
Something like he had 24 coming in today total between his 2 outings. He's at 55 now.
Let's see, Gervais.
61.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Let's see, pitch count. Here you go. His highest pitch count of the year looks like it was 38. He threw 38 against Ole Miss. So that's the most pitches he's thrown 38 twice. He also threw 38 against Auburn. So and threw 38 against McNeese. That's odd. So his high, it's 3 times on the number 38. So McNeese, Auburn, and Ole Miss, he threw 38. He's at 56 now. So Paul Gervais had a season high pitch count, now extending into the 6, fly out to center. So there's one out there. All right. I'm sorry. Excuse me. 2 outs. 2 outs now. The liner to Berry, now the fly out. So runner on second, and Gervais is 1 more out away from wiggling off the hook again and keep maintaining LSU's lead. That's what they gotta respond here. I mean,
you need runs. And
what?
Sorry.
Finish your thought. Well, that was a deep fly. Now I'm looking at the deep fly.
Yeah, now you see,
okay,
like,
Bianco got it. Okay.
Off the bat, it looked like the kid just went yard. And I was like, no. But, sorry. Yeah, no, I mean, you got 5, 6, and 7 coming up here, man. I mean, that's Morgan, Thompson, McManus. They've swung it well. See if you can't respond.
Bottom of the order was abysmal yesterday. There's no other way to say it.
0 for 15.
I mean, after Morgan, literally nobody got a hit.
Yeah, 0 for 15, yeah.
So even when you pinch hit Dugas for Joe Bear, they need to come through for you today. So, all right, Tigers lead at 4-3. They are now 9 outs away. You're 9 outs away from advancing, and you have a lead. Build a cushion. As we said, you got Vittmeyer. You've got Fontenot you can go to. You've got Kyle. He's gonna let Fontenot pitch the 9th. You think, or Vittmeyer? What do you think if he gets?
Yeah, I'd imagine Fontenot. Yeah, he threw 57 pitches on Friday, so I mean maybe he can't give you as much as we think. I don't know. I mean,
Could he go empty the tank for 3 outs?
I think so. Yes, but I think that's probably it. Like I don't know if you get more than 3 outs from Devin today.
And look,
it's 2 days. I mean, 2 days rest.
He threw the same number of pitches as McHale did, but stylistically they're so different.
Oh,
You're talking about a sort of max effort guy as opposed to sort of the rubber arm, breaking ball guy who can seemingly just throw forever. I mean, as long as McHale's been at LSU, it's been 5 years, I can't ever remember him having an arm issue. I mean, I'm not saying over 5 years it hasn't happened where he missed a start.
He had the forearm. He had the forearm his junior year.
Oh, he had a forearm his junior year.
That was it.
So Muse pulled that one. But, he's
2020.
He's not a guy that's – that was the COVID season.
Yep.
So he's not
he pitched 1 game because of the forearm that year.
He's not a guy that's been injured, that's dealt with it, that's struggled to extend or anything like that. So, I mean, obviously it's hindsight now, but when you say it at the time, it's you say. But see if LSU can go get some runs. They're heading to the bottom of the 6th there in Hattiesburg with LSU leading 4-3. Defense abandoned them. They let a run score on a pass ball, which we've seen too many times this year, but don't get me started there. All right, it's after further review. If you missed any of the show earlier, we started the show in hour 1 with Colby Richardson. If you missed this story, Colby Richardson is the defensive back from McNeese who just over the weekend announced his transfer to LSU. He told us in hour number 1 that he's on campus moving in today and he reports tomorrow. So he will join the offseason workout program tomorrow at LSU. Brian Kelly, if you remember this, when spring started in his pre-spring press conference, Brian Kelly pointed out the number of Louisiana transfers they had brought in. Joe Fouché, Greg Brooks, Jark Bernard Converse, Mekhi Garner, a lot of Louisiana guys that they brought in as a part of this transfer class. This is what Brian Kelly talked about, the importance of getting Louisiana guys onto campus.
From the very beginning, they have embraced, the standards that we have set. They have been leaders. They certainly are excited about their opportunity here. So you could tell that, from the very, very beginning. And so because of that, they've been embraced immediately. A number of them have been, very visible in terms of what they've done from a football standpoint too, not just in the off-season workouts. So by and large, I think it's been a real healthy addition to our program.
He wanted Louisiana guys. He added another. Now remember, LSU had 2 spots remaining in this class. Remember, you could sign your 25 plus 7 in a 1-for-1 transfer, so you could sign up to 32. They were up to 30. Now they had 2 spots left. The concerning part was because the transfer portal window to be eligible had passed, you're limited on the number of guys you could sign. But, as we've talked about many times, grad transfers are immediately eligible. Remember, that's what happened with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow showed up in June and was eligible. Remember Terrence Alexander that same year from Stanford? Terrence Alexander, same thing, showed up in June, committed in June. He had to finish the semester at Stanford where they had the weird, long semesters or whatever they are. But you can add grad transfers now immediately eligible. There is no sense, I'm going to say this again to remind you, there is no sense in saving these spots to backfill. The rule changes. Remember, they passed the new rule where they've gotten rid of the hard cap. So it used to be that, you'd save the spot to be able to backfill for next year. So instead of signing 25, if you had 1 spot remaining, you could sign 26 or 27. So if it wasn't a guy you felt was worthy of a 4-year spot, an initial 25, you didn't sign him and you backfilled. Well, that goes away. Next year, you just can't go over 85. So sign as many guys as you want in the recruiting class as long as you don't go over 85 on your roster. So you can't use these spots to backfill next year, so it doesn't matter. If Colby Richardson plays 1 snap for you this year, it's worth having him because that spot essentially goes away. This is a guy who's a Louisiana guy. Frank Wilson had him at McNeese for a couple of years, so is very familiar with him, and obviously wants to be part of the program. He was with us in hour one. Go back and listen to the interview. His half-brother is Joe Fouché. So his half-brother is Joe Fouché, who just transferred in from Arkansas. So you got a family tie there as well. You had massive turnover in the secondary. He's 6'1", big, long corner, can play inside or out, can play special teams. He said, I'll do anything. And anything they need me to do to help contribute, I'll do. It was a really good conversation. Would highly recommend you go back and listen to it or subscribe up on the After Further Review LSU YouTube channel, and you'll see it up there as well. If you want the interview individually, it'll be there for you. So, and listen, man, another thing is, do you trust Frank Wilson? I mean, Frank Wilson's the one who really went to bat for this guy. He initially signed at McNeese in 2017, but Frank had him in 2020 and 2021 when he was the head coach there, and Frank's the one that went to bat for him and really pushed to get him on campus, and now here he is. He camped here in the spring, or came here during spring for a visit, and ultimately waited it out, got his offer on a week ago today, and now he's part of the LSU program. So Colby Richardson is part of the program. LSU's got one spot to go, and it would make sense, and we've talked about it so much, if there's a tight end. Now, it's got to be a grad transfer, someone who's graduated, so they'd be immediately eligible. But if that position opens up somewhere in college football and there's a grad transfer tight end that can maybe be an immediate impact guy for you, you go find him. I think that's what you would use that last spot on. All right. It's After Further Review. So glad to have you hanging out with us here. As always, we appreciate you for being with us. We will knock out a quick break. Jordan Thompson, a ground ball. I was hoping he didn't ground into a double play. He didn't. They got the lead runner at first, but Thompson will be on at second with 2 out. Sorry. All right, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break. There is an interesting piece up right now at ESPN.com, which suggests that maybe, just maybe, Ndamukong Suh could be the next New Orleans Saint. We'll talk about it next. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Darren James and Associates, powered by eXp Realty. Every home listed, every company, all in one place. Agent225.com. I love telling you about raving fans from Darren James. And how about Jeff Bishop? Zach Hansen sold his property to help him move to Texas. So Jeff was leaving Baton Rouge, moving to Texas, had to get his home sold, and Darren James and his team got it done. You could be next. 335-7666, 335-7666. That's Darren James's number. It's his cell number. Give him a call. Text him if you'd rather text. The thing about Darren James that differentiates him, and I could run through all the accolades and the number of homes sold and all the awards that he's won, and they are plentiful, but it's customer service. The thing that differentiates the Ritz-Carlton or Disney World is the level of service they provide. That's what Darren James does for all of his clients in real estate. Need to sell your home? You need Darren James. 335-7666.
Think real estate. Think Darren James.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Call 288-8138 or visit reliefwindows.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right. Tigers got a little something cooking here. Tyler McManus with the base hit. Jordan Thompson goes first to third. So you had first and third. Joe Bear due up against the lefty. Obviously, they weren't going to let Joe Bear hit against the lefty. So Gavin Dugas pinch hits, and he gets plunked on the knee. So Dugas will take his base. Man, the walking wounded this team, I swear. But it's I've just never seen anything like it. I mean,
at least it didn't hit his hand.
That's true. That's true. I mean, we've made the jokes about the Jordan twins who were just magnets, but like this is the whole team.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it with those guys before, but never like an entire team, and that's what this has been. So a double barrel action in the pen now for Southern Miss as the Tigers have the bases loaded for, this is going to be Drew Bianco.
Big spot.
Okay, well, I mean, Jay Johnson started Drew Bianco today. Got a veteran guy. Drew Bianco was big in the regional a year ago.
Yeah.
I think many might have been stunned to hear me say that I like the decision today.
I was.
Did. Well, I do like the decision.
Yeah,
in a win or go home scenario, I'm okay putting a veteran guy who has performed for you in the postseason, who's like a coach on the field, who's a leader guy, he's an energy guy on the team. I'm okay with him being out there. So Drew Bianco today is struck out on 3 pitches, walked, got pegged down at second base on what had to be a miscommunication with either he or Pearson. But this is it right now. I mean, it's bottom 6, bases loaded, 2 outs. Drew Bianco, in what could be his final college game, is at the plate in a massive spot. He looks at strike 1, and I'm going to talk about the Saints and Ndamukong Suh, but I want to see this AB. Yeah. It didn't go well. Is it over?
It's not over.
Muse is looking. Muse is a few. I think maybe a pitch ahead of me. So
yeah, about a pitch.
Yeah. Okay. I would. That's a swing and a miss. So it's 0-2. So is it over now?
No.
Okay.
Been nice if you would have just wore that one right there, but you know.
That came in on?
Yeah.
Okay. So 1-2.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I know what's about to happen. I mean, should I just like sit here and wait? Muse, tell me what happened. Or, Paulie, what happened last week? You can just tell me how your week went. Let's ride out this AB here. So there was he was trying to wear it, wasn't he?
He was. He was trying. I mean, it'd have been great if he did. That'd have been awesome.
Did he strike out?
It's not over. It's not over yet.
Is it 2-2?
Now he struck out.
Oh, he struck.
High fastball.
Swinging?
Yep.
Okay. So Bianco strikes out with the bases loaded. I mean, it's not surprising. That's what he is. I've talked about it a bunch. He's a guy that in his career is a sub-200 hitter, and he just struck out in roughly 1/3 of his career at bats. That was at his eyes too. God, dog it. Yep, I'm still okay with the decision to play him today. He's been really good in left field. He did draw a walk. Unfortunately, got pegged. That felt like that was the moment. Even if you just get a bloop and you bring home a run, that would have been great. Didn't happen. He might actually get another chance. Actually, that was bottom 6, so they go to the 7th.
You'll have the top of the order up so you get a 0 here and you could be in business.
Yeah. All right, so they go to the 7th. LSU leading Southern Miss 4-3. We have talked a lot this offseason about the Saints' free agency, additions, positions of need, what they have done, and what maybe they still could do or need to do. And notably, they've added Jarvis Landry at receiver. They've added Tyrann Mathieu at safety. Of course, Marcus May as well at safety. So there have been some very notable free agent moves for the Saints here this offseason. And they may not be done. The Saints have just a hair under $10 million left against the cap in this, right now for 2022. And Matt Bowen over at ESPN.com ranked the best fits for the top 10 remaining free agents. And the number 1 remaining free agent that he listed over at ESPN.com was defensive tackle Ndamukong Suh, of course, who spent the past few years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I won't bury the lead here. ESPN.com says Ndamukong Suh's best fit is the New Orleans Saints. The write-up is, I originally considered matching the veteran defensive tackle back with the Buccaneers, but with Tampa Bay signing Akeem Hicks, we should expect Suh to land with another contender during camp. Suh had 6 sacks in 2021, put some good tape out there in the postseason. Writes that they like the idea of Suh playing in Dennis Allen's defense, even in a rotational role. He can still create disruption, command 2 in protection, get home to the quarterback, and scheme fronts. He'd be effective in New Orleans with interior stunts and loops that create A-gap pressure and eliminate the quarterback's ability to climb the pocket, and you need that when you see Tom Brady twice a season. Okay, so the write-up is projecting best fit for Ndamukong Suh to the New Orleans Saints. This isn't the first time we've talked about Ndamukong Suh and the possibility of him being a fit for the New Orleans Saints. Actually, whenever he landed in Tampa, we talked about that being what would have been a really nice fit at the time. Y'all, Ndamukong Suh to the New Orleans Saints would be a total dream fit. He's 35 years old, okay? So, yes, you were talking about an aging defensive player. But what did our buddy Mike D always say the best ability is? Availability. One of the most underappreciated statistics in the current NFL of active NFL players is the fact that Ndamukong Suh has never missed a game due to injury. He was drafted out of Nebraska by the Lions in 2010. Now, you remember he missed 2 games back in 2011 when he stomped on Andre Giroud's head, and he was suspended. But he has never missed a game due to injury. He has played in every game in his career except the 2 when he was suspended. Last year, as a 34-year-old, turned 35 in January, by the way, played in all 17 games for Tampa. The best ability is availability, and Ndamukong Suh has unquestionably been available his entire career at a position where not many guys stay healthy for as long as he has. When you consider the Iron Man streak that Cam Jordan has as well, that would be one hell of a statement having those 2 guys as a formidable tandem, veteran, crafty players, part of that rotation that have always managed to be healthy. They're very crafty players and dominant as well. Ndamukong Suh has played in 191 career games, started all 191, and he has never missed because of injury. Not only that, not only has he been available, he has also been productive. Ndamukong Suh, last year with Tampa Bay, registered 6 sacks. In 2020, the COVID year, with Tampa Bay, he registered 6 sacks. Y'all, the last time Ndamukong Suh prior to that at 6 sacks was back in 2015 with the Miami Dolphins. So after having 8.5 his last year in Detroit, 6 in his first year in Miami, he went 5, 4.5, 4.5, 2.5, and then each of the last 2 years with Tampa, 6 sacks. That is a dude that even in his middle 30s, as much as he has played, is still having some of the most productive years of his career. You have a guy that has been durable and productive. We have seen the Saints at times try to drink from the fountain of youth. They'll bring in Champ Bailey late in his career. They'll work out Edgerrin James. Like, we've seen the Saints try to go get, air quotes, name players late in their career, hoping that you can tap into some of the production that they've had in their career, and it hasn't worked out. This is an instance where you're talking about a guy who is still massively productive at 35 years old, having played nearly 200 career games, and is still, of course, won a Super Bowl with Tampa in the COVID year, but is certainly still wanting to play for a contender. If Ndamukong Suh landed in New Orleans, it's because he thinks he can make this team better. The other thing I'll tell you is this. When you look at the Saints' starting interior defensive linemen, David Onyemata and Shai Tuttle are your guys right now. Onyemata has started 89 games in his career, and I know I'm throwing a lot of numbers. You don't need to memorize the numbers. There's no test or anything. Just understand the numbers I'm going to give you for context purposes. Onyemata has started 89 games in his career. Shai Tuttle started 46. Okay, so take those two. Those two combined, by the way, still have not played in as many games as David Onyemata. As Ndamukong Suh. The rest of the defensive tackles on the Saints roster, Josh Black is a rookie. Jordan Jackson is a rookie. Malcolm Roach has played in 16 games. Albert Huggins has played in 14 games. Kentavious Street has played in 35 games. And Jaleel Johnson has played in 65 games. Aside from Onyemata and Tuttle, Roach, Black, Huggins, Jackson, Johnson, Street, the other 6 defensive tackles you have on this roster, 6, have played a combined 130 games. The 6 other defensive tackles you have on this roster have played combined less games than Ndamukong Suh. If you can get him, by all means, absolutely get him. Productive player, durable player, position of need. If he's affordable, do it. Would absolutely love to see Ndamukong Suh in New Orleans. The two, if I had to peg the 2 biggest question marks that I have on this team right now still, outside of can Jameis stay healthy and be an elite, I mean, like, as far as numbers and roster and where you are. Defensive tackle, tight end. Will we see Adam Troutman take that next step and emerge? Can one of these young defensive tackles step up? Well, you answer that question in a big way if you're able to bring Ndamukong Suh to New Orleans. Go do it. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service, name brand tires at wholesale prices. Shaw Bills, again, locations all over South Louisiana. Find the location nearest you. The newest location in Denham Springs. So if you're out in the LP, Livingston Parish, you got your own Shaw Bills now. Schedule service online, shop tires online. It's ShawBillsTire.com. Nobody will work harder to get you the best tire on the road at the cheapest price possible. We're talking Michelin, BF Goodrich, Firestone, Bridgestone. They sell them all, and they sell them cheaper than anyone else. That's Shaw Bills, and they always treat you like family. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com, Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. All right, so LSU has just continued to tap dance around fire here in Hattiesburg. Tigers lead it 4-3. Their top 7. Jacob Hasty relieved Paul Gervais to start the 7th. Walked the leadoff man. He's 2-0 to the next hitter, and now the Tigers are making a mid-count pitching change. Devin Fontenot is coming out of the bullpen here. We suggested that Fontenot may be called on to save the game in the 9th if you had a lead, which he may be able to extend into the 9th, but this was clearly a situation where you thought Jacob Hasty would get you through 7 and then maybe beyond that, but maybe Hasty in the 7th, Vittmeyer in the 8th, Fontenot in the 9th, if that's the way they wanted to play it out. But as of right now, Devin Fontenot is inheriting a runner on first and a 2-0 count here. The thing about Fontenot that we've known his entire career, he's great at getting good sync on his fastball. Hopefully you induce a ground ball somewhere on the infield here and get the double play ball. It would make a lot of sense why you go to Fontenot here, especially with the 2-0 count. You get that sinking fastball, get a ground ball, try to get out of this thing, or try to erase that runner and see if you can get back to the dugout. As Tigers wasted a bases-loaded opportunity in the bottom of the sixth with Drew Bianco's strikeout. But Devin Fontenot will see if he can wiggle LSU off the hook here with a 4-3 lead. And they do have other action in the bullpen. I don't know. Could you see who was in? I know Grant Taylor was like standing. Well, I think he's just standing watch to make sure no ball gets down there. Can't tell if it's Vittmeyer who it is down there. We'll see if we can find out who is in the bullpen. But we'll knock out a quick break. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Tigers leading 4-3. We'll get you an update when we return here. And Fontenot promptly hits the first batter he faces. So first and second, nobody out. We'll go to break and pray. We'll come back. It's AFR.
AFR.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $5,000 off the new 2022 Wagoneer. We have Wagoneers in stock with $5,000 off. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but two NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, front-to-back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front to Back Boat Service.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Call 288-8138 or visit reliefwindows.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Oh, we got a tie ball game. We are anew there in Hattiesburg. It's 4-4 after Jacob Hasty walked the leadoff runner and the leadoff hitter. Devin Fontenot came to relieve him, hit the first batter he faced. Southern Miss laid down a bunt. Devin Fontenot couldn't handle it, so a run. So the bases were loaded. Christopher Sargent from Southern Miss, fly ball to center. Beautiful play by Dylan Cruz. Made a diving catch, which is just incredible. Excuse me. He to get the out runner tag. They are now appealing to say that the runner left early. I don't know if you're going to have any video that's conclusive of this, but LSU is appealing, saying that the runner left third early, and the umpires are huddling. Is there any view of this?
Not that I've seen so far. I mean, look, there's been struggle getting good angles on a lot of stuff so far this weekend.
Well, I mean, that's true, and that is one of the downsides of college baseball, because this isn't Sunday Night Baseball. It's not the Super Bowl where you have 50 cameras all over with super zoom and all this sort of stuff. You got what you got in a college baseball game. It's why you seldom see things overturned in college baseball. You got the angle you got. So it would be great if you could pair two angles to see when he made the catch and then the runner at third base, if they could pair the cameras side by side. But still don't know if you'll get the exact view of when the ball was caught.
I don't think I've ever seen this work. Like, I don't think I've ever seen an appeal to someone leaving the base early ever be called an out.
Oh, I have.
I'm trying to think of an instance, and I can't think of one.
In 1999, was it 99 or was it the 2000 regular season? LSU was playing at Alabama. I think it might have been the 2000 regular season. LSU was playing at Alabama, and Skip made an appeal like that and won the appeal. And Alabama people lost their mind.
Can imagine. I mean, that is so subjective, man. And they didn't have replay back then. Like,
I know.
Golly.
I don't know that they're going to be able to overturn this. It would be just an absolute dream scenario if they could, but there's just no angle that shows both the catch and the runner leaving the base. So,
plus Cruz is diving for the ball. Like, I mean,
you can keep looking at it and all you want, but if you don't have an angle that shows when Cruz catches the ball and when the runner leaves, there's just no way to overturn that. And if the call on the field was it was a good tag and the runner safe at home, then that's going to have to stand. So, they're still reviewing it, but this is obviously a critical part of the ball game here. So, if you're just joining us, LSU and Southern Miss, they're top 7. It's tied at 4. LSU had a big first inning. Southern Miss led off the game with a home run to go up 1-0. LSU put 3 runs on the board in the bottom of the first to go up 3-1. K. Doty would add a solo shot. LSU led 4-1. They are ruling the runner officially safe. So LSU would lead 4-1. Tigers would implode a little bit, give up a 2 spot, in large part thanks to a run scored on a pass ball at home, which drink. But now, time and again, Paul Gervais kind of wiggled out of trouble, and now Devin Fontenot is trying to do the same thing after Jacob Hasty started the 7 with a walk, and then Fontenot hit a batter. So you've got first and third here with should that be 2 outs? Or no, the Cruz catch was the first out. So first and third here with just 1 out. A fly ball to the outfield would give Southern Miss the lead. A ground ball double play or a strikeout from Devin Fontenot here would be certainly ideal. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Michele Weighing and Measurement, Michele.com. Locations from sea to shining sea. Love telling you about my friends over at Michele. Of course, Joel McMullen, his son Sean McMullen, who played baseball at LSU and was part of that 2013 College World Series team. Michele.com. If you weigh or measure something, they sell, service, and rent the products you use to weigh and measure. Learn more about all the services that they offer there at Michele Weighing and Measurement. It's Michele.com. for 75 years, celebrating 75 years in business. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. So Devin Fontenot exits. Bryce Collins comes in, breaking ball pitcher, I guess, thinking, see how you can get a ground ball. Little surprised. We've talked about it a good bit throughout the show today as we sprinkled in some LSU baseball talk around everything else. I'm a little surprised with the way that Jay Johnson and Jason Kelly have handled the pitching staff today. I thought, yesterday I understood every decision they made and the changes when they made them. Today it's been a little more perplexing, and it really started with pulling Mikhail Hilliard when they did in the fourth, and it felt like he certainly had much more to give at that point. But in any event, it's up to Bryce Collins here to see if he can find a way to escape this jam and get out of here with a tie ball game in the seventh and get LSU batting there in the bottom of the seventh. So Tigers have led twice. Twice we've seen Southern Miss battle back now. And, forgive me, actually, this is the first time Southern Miss has been able to tie it since LSU led 3-1. So Tigers bats are going to have to get going again, see if they can do it. All right, it's after further review. Final break of the show. Come back. Jimmy Ott will be here for a little Otter Locks. No NBA Finals tonight. They're tied at 1 as the series shifts to Boston, but I suspect we may have some hockey tonight, or Major League Baseball, or cockroach racing at a local American Legion Hall or something like that. I mean, Otter's got action on something, so we'll find out what it is next. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Y'all, we are in the dead of summer now. It is 90 degrees today, and you know that heat index is much higher. Do not leave your home central AC to chance. Call River City's 1 Hour Air. Preseason AC tune-up, 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001. Call our friends at River City's 1 Hour Air. Let them come out to the house. Give your AC the proper cleaning that it needs. Tune up to make sure it is running efficiently for the warm weather months. 752-0001, 752-0001. You see the big yellow trucks and vans all over town, probably in your neighborhood, because so many of your friends and neighbors trust River City's 1 Hour Air like they have for 40 years now, more than 40 years, since 1980. Go read the Google reviews. Go read the Facebook reviews. You'll see why so many of your friends and neighbors do what I do. They trust River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Call 288-8138 or visit reliefwindows.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Oh, well, for the first time since the first batter of the game when Mikhail Hilliard gave up a leadoff homer, LSU trails. Tigers had stormed back. They led 4-1. And now Bryce Collins has come in, gives up a line drive base hit, which allows the go-ahead run to score. So Southern Miss leading LSU now 5-4. There are 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning now. So we'll see if LSU can escape without any further damage here and give the Bats 9 outs, see if they can make something happen. All right. Down the stretch we come. Glad to have you aboard with us here. Love telling you about Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Fired up, man. Commercial or residential. I mentioned, of course, commercial. Doing so much commercial work, even new construction. So if you would like us to bid on your new construction project, we'll do it. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Tell you all the time, deal with me directly. Matt at HudcoRoofing.com. M-A-T-T, Matt at HudcoRoofing.com. Happy to help facilitate. Of course, there was hail in the greater New Orleans area last night. 1-inch hail that was confirmed. Hail damage, wind damage. Not sure if you have damage. Let us come give you a free, no-obligation roofing inspection. Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com tell you every day, do business with someone you know. That's Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com. All right, one thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otterlocks.
Otterlocks, presented by Bocage Barbershop in Bocage Village. Serving the Bocage, Goodwood, and Town Center area since 1959.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable and often incomprehensible, the Ott father himself, Jimmy Ott. Otter, great to talk to you again, man. How are you?
Good, Matt. How's your weekend?
Good weekend, man. Good week away. Glad to be back and all that stuff. Hoping the Tigers can rally here, man. What do you think, man? You doing any college baseball here?
Son, yeah, a lot. And, don't try and overthink it. A lot of overs. Matt, I went over a game this past weekend, 20. Wow. 20. And the Campbell Georgia Tech game. It 21. But the Arkansas-Oklahoma State game, that line tonight, that total is 18.5. And the ball is just flying out of Stillwater. And, it is. And they have less pitching than they've had at any point in this tournament. So one thing about it is that scoring is way up. And it's something we did last year. We wait to the first couple of games, and then when we see where we got, they get deep into their pitches. I mean, how many pitches is this now for LSU? 4 in this inning. 4 in this inning to 7 in the game? I mean, it's both teams are very, very thin. It's obvious. And so, advantage to the hitters. Funny thing about this total in this LSU game, it was anywhere from 11.5 to 13. So there is some variance depending on where you shop on some of these totals. So, and depending on where you get on them. And like I said, total was 17. The Oklahoma State-Arkansas game tonight, it's up to 18.5. So, playing some college. Okay. I love this. Is a great, fun event to bet. No doubt about it.
You got anything else tonight, Otter? Got about a minute and a half?
All right. We did have a parlay earlier, Stanford and East Carolina. Obviously, East Carolina's gone. Let me give you a money line parlay in Major League Baseball tonight, and it's going with the Houston Astros and the Toronto Blue Jays. Astros are on a roll. They're going against Robbie Ray.
1 minute remaining.
Robbie Ray has been an automatic fade all Robbie Ray at 10 starts, Matt. He has given up less than two earned runs. How many times? 0.
All right.
Houston and Toronto, money line parlay. We're going to continue to fade the Angels. Boston tonight, the Angels have lost 11 in a row, and Noah Syndergaard has been really failing lately as well. So Boston and then a Toronto Astros parlay.
Where are you tonight, Otter?
Rouge Creole, man. Watch
Very
the game. I guess we'll be doing a little talking about it as the stretch. This thing got about another hour to go. It seems like Annie's over here with me. Talking to me. There's another RBI hit for the Golden Eagles as we speak.
Yeah. All right, Otter. Have a great show, man. We appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Thank you, man.
Be well. Game Time with Jimmy Out follows us in Baton Rouge. If you're not in Baton Rouge, online at 1045ESPN.com. Muse, Paulie, thanks so much. Hopefully we're talking about a Tiger rally tomorrow. We'll see you then. Say AFR.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, we remind you about South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Obviously just got back from vacation. We took our Volkswagen Atlas. Plenty of room. We fold down that third row. We cram all of our stuff, suitcases for 7 days. Me, Erica, who packs a lot, and Drew and all of his extra stuff. 7 days, we had plenty of room in the Volkswagen Atlas. 3-row, 7-seater family SUV, great for travel, great to drive around, and always know that you're in one of the safest vehicles on the road. 9 different IIHS top safety picks. That's what you get with the Volkswagen line. The style, the feel, the performance of luxury without the cost. That's at South Point Volkswagen. Again, airline just north of Highland. They are Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. They just before I left for vacation, they got 4 truckloads of brand new vehicles on the lot. So they got inventory. Check them out today at South Point Volkswagen. southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction?
The best things in summer are unofficial. Coors Light, the official beer of everything unofficial.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is,